Let's see if that works as for Twitch. Is it picking up now? Did I fix it by stopping the stream and starting it again? Are we gonna have to do the thing where Is a what? Oh, sorry. Okay, let me see too. Sorry, I'm so gassy. I just burp all the time. Okay, I had to come into the stream to hear myself say that. Can you speak a little bit? Why is it why does it sound like I have you on a phone in the background? Why does it sound like that? What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Wait, actually, is the audio output capture coming through at all? Hold up. Let me play this video. Oh wait, no, that's gonna get copyright striked. Copyright free music. And let's see if this even plays, because maybe it's at the because I think what's happening is it's coming through on my headphones. Do you hear this music? What the fuck? Okay, so it's my audio output capture that's fucking up right now. Okay, so nobody heard the music in the thingy either. Um, audio output capture, audio output capture. Maybe if I do this, it will fix, and then filters. That should be fine, and then properties.
Okay, I can hear myself now, dude. Let's go.
You can hear yourself? You can hear yourself? Okay,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I just fixed it. I think I fixed it then. Can everyone else hear Lush too? Twitch? What's going on with your Twitch? Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear? Let me refresh my restream.
Okay, turn me down a little bit.
Turn you down a little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, chat, let us know if anything else happens, if you cannot hear the music in this game or Lush. Magdalena was only inches apart from her. Their faces so close Micah could see how Magdalena's eyelids trembled. Magdalena was devoid of all self-righteous pomp with which she usually conducted herself. She seemed contrite, guilty as a young child caught out by an angry parent. Micah felt for her, but still, she worried about her own fate. Did Magdalena mean to bite her? Surely she must. That was the whole reason behind her visit at so late an hour. Micah did not understand why Magdalena was examining her arm, however, like an antiquarian might inspect an old necklace.
Aren't you...
Micah swallowed.
Aren't you going to drain my blood?
Indeed I am. Must I make my intention so plain? Magdalena smiled, but her voice was dry when she next spoke. For all the books you read, your intelligence is nothing to boast about, Micah.
I just thought I would clarify.
Damn, she really just looked at her and said, "Are you stupid, bitch?" She was like, "Bitch, are you dumb?"
I don't understand, though.
What isn't there to understand? It is quite a simple process to comprehend, really. Observe. Magdalena reached for the table, then lifted a strange, silvery blade. Micah supposed she must have kept it upon her as an assassin might, the blade sharp and silver in the moonlight. Magdalena pressed the blade of the knife to the inside of Micah's arm, a few inches below the bend of her elbow, then said, "I will cut you with this knife, and you will bleed. Then I will collect your blood in a dish I brought with me for this very purpose." It's an unusual ritual, yes, but it is not complicated. Surely a well-bred young woman like yourself can comprehend it.
I understand, but
Micah gasped, her breath catching in her throat as Magdalena pressed the knife's edge to... I just realized that's what you just did.
yeah, bro.
As Magdalena pressed the knife's edge to her skin. Magdalena had not pressed hard enough to lacerate her skin. Not yet, at least. But the knife was hard and unyielding, and the promise of pain made Micah shiver.
I thought you would be biting me, not cutting me.
Micah looked at Magdalena's mouth. Her fangs were obscured, hidden behind her pursed lips. But Micah had seen them often enough to know how sharp they were. Magdalena's teeth had been made to ride human flesh. Why, then, would she resort to a knife? It seemed an unnecessary layer of obfuscation to the act of bloodletting. Perhaps it was to assuage Magdalena's guilt about what it was she was trying to do, or perhaps... My. Magdalena smiled, her carmine lips splitting to reveal her wickedly sharp incisors. What is this, Micah? Do you wish me to bite you?
No, that's not it. I don't wish for it, of course I don't. But I thought that was what vampires were supposed to do.
Is that not what you... Oh, sorry.
Is that not what you're known for?
It doesn't help that both our names start with M.
Yeah.
I suppose we are in all the folk stories and the legends, but I prefer to take a more pragmatic approach.
Pragmatic?
Magdalena nodded. It is much more practical to cut you. The wound will be easier to clean, and it will heal more quickly. It will be less painful, too. You will thank me for my reticence, I am sure, when we are finished here. If I were to sink my fangs into you, I fear I wouldn't be able to stop myself. Your blood smells so very sweet, I would be obliged to suck you dry. I would like for things to last just a touch longer than that. You don't wish to be drained of all you have in one single session, do you? All of the build-up would be for naught, then. Micah shook her head, shivering.
I don't wish to be drained at all.
I know you don't. I don't blame you much either. Here, Magdalena's good humor seemed to fail her. She sighed, her eyes half-lidded, the frown sliding from her face like melting snow come the springtime. I don't much want to do this either. But I have no choice. As I said, this is what I must do as a vampire. I might defy our legends in some regards. I am not wholly typical of my kind, but I am still a monster in the end. Now, sit still and try not to squirm. I have no desire to make this more painful than it needs to be. Magdalena angled her hand so as to press the blade of the knife more snugly to Micah's skin. Inhale deeply now. One big breath. Yes, just like that. There's a good girl. This will be over before you know it. I had to crack a smile at that line. I was like, okay, all right.
I'm cheesing behind the screen, bro.
Magdalena was as good as her word too. Micah had scarce inhaled, drinking in a lungful of stagnant air when Magdalena made her move. She drew the knife across the inside of Micah's arm, the blade sinking deep into her skin.
Bro, there you go.
You did good on that one. Micah exhaled, shocked, as a sharp stinging sensation coursed through her. It was painful, yes, but not so painful as she feared. Magdalena had been quick about her incision and precise with it. Her motions were as well practiced as a surgeon's. depositing the knife upon Micah's bedside, the blade of which was tarnished with spilled blood. Magdalena then set a bowl beneath Micah's arm to collect her ill-gotten goods. The bowl was a shallow one, and as soon as it was half full with blood, thick and viscous, and redder even than Magdalena's eyes. Micah watched on as Magdalena drained her breath caught in her throat. She could feel the pain. By God, it stung. Yet it happened so suddenly, she scarcely registered it. I gotta be so honest, this doesn't look like it hurts that bad.
Yeah.
She felt no sense of loss as Magdalena drained her, nor any real wrongdoing. She was shocked instead, too stunned to know how she ought to respond. Goodness. Magdalena sighed as she observed Micah's blood, which was pooled in the bottom of the bowl like a profane offering to a pagan god. Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry. Let me get into character. Your blood is so very red, Micah. And it's so very pretty. I suppose I could try a drop or two of it myself to see whether it tastes as good as it looks. But no, I must abstain. That ought to be enough. For tonight, at least. You bled well for me, Micah. And you bore your burden with the grace one might expect of a true noblewoman. You did not even scream, though I saw you wince. I ought to commend you for that. Men stronger than you have screamed when faced with far less. If you don't just bite the damn arm, 7. They're trying to.
Right.
I mean, I feel like we understand the pace of this visual novel. They want to fucking drag it out, right? This is just the pacing. We're taking our time with it. We're edging. She must not be hungry for real, taking forever just to get some blood. Magdalena set the bowl aside, along with the dirty knife, and drew her cloak protectively about her slender shoulders. Micah was afraid, for a few moments, that Magdalena meant to take her leave already, her task fulfilled, but no. Oh, look at Micah getting a little clingy. She's like, wait, don't leave. You're just gonna take my blood and leave me as this used blood bag on this bed? Cuddle me. Magdalena rose once again, drawing shut the curtains, almost as if she could not bear to let the moon witness the pain she had wrought upon Micah. This completed, she turned her attention to the basin which rested on the writing desk. The basin was filled with water from earlier that morning, which Micah used to wash her face, though it was cold by now. Magdalena drew from her pocket a handkerchief, which she dipped in the cool water in the basin. Then she turned back to Micah and introduced the damp cloth to Micah's gut. Micah hissed.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
No, that was great. Micah hissed to feel the fabric against her wound, and Magdalena replied with a small smile. So stupid, bro. I'm sorry, Micah. I know this hurts, but please, try to bear it. It's for your own good. It would not do if your wound were to be infected. And why is she all of a sudden angry?
Right.
She's looking at like, it would not do if your wound were to be infected. Try to bear with it. Magdalena dabbed at Micah's wound as carefully as a nurse might, her head bowed. Micah watched her work, frowning, her skin tingling both at the pain and the unusual gentleness with which Magdalena was displaying. She did not know how Magdalena could touch her so carefully, when, only a few moments prior, she had slid the blade of a knife into her flesh. It was an awful contradiction, one Micah did not understand at all. I feel like she was gentle with the knife too. Like, I don't understand what the contradiction is.
Why?
Micah gasped while her cut stung. Then she tried again, her voice barely more than a whisper.
Why are you acting so kindly? It seems unusual. What is...
I think it's literally that.
Right, vampire.
They just got you whimpering and moaning. I'm glad I'm not playing the bottom today.
What
Holy shit. I think it's literally like...
Why are you so kind?
It's unusual for a vampire, but I never profess to being like the majority of my kin. I hope I've not proven to be too much of a disappointment.
I'm not disappointed, really.
Oh, good. I was starting to worry. I thought that you might prefer something more traditional. A spell in a dungeon, perhaps, and a few broken bones.
But I am confused. You say you don't wish to harm me, but you do so regardless. It seems rather contradictory.
Yes, you would be right there. It is a contradiction, but what can I do? My whole existence hinges upon such fallacies and logic. I'm dead, yet I'm also alive. I am a monster, yet I still possess feelings.
Oh.
And though I must drink blood to survive, I do not truly wish to harm innocents. Least of all you. It is quite the conundrum. I've had over a century to dwell upon it, but I doubt you will have the same luxury. Your humans aren't particularly durable. Micah certainly felt delicate as Magdalena cleaned her.
Oh my god.
Magdalena was being gentle, yet the brush of her fingertips made her shudder regardless. She simply could not help herself. Once satisfied that the bleeding had stopped, Magdalena drew back and deposited her handkerchief back in her pocket. I tried to push through you doing the sound effects in the background and not laughing. You're getting very immersed in the story today.
I'm just like, how would that look though? A vampire is carrying a bowl of blood? Like, I don't know.
I mean, you would think that they would.
So silly.
I mean, I guess, you know, you can interpret the myth how you want, but I would think that the vampire would be so hungry at the smell of it that they would not be able to compose themselves so well.
She would be like itching.
She'd be like fiending, like scratching her neck, like, oh. Somebody said, imagine an old-timey vamp gives you the plague or something through a bite. Why would I imagine that? Why do you want me to imagine that?
Right, what the hell? Why are you even thinking that in the first place?
Right. Magdalena said, no, a star with a name said, Magdalena could low-key be a freak and save the handkerchief for sniffing later. That is true. I hope she is that kind of freak. The storyline making lush work. Retrieving both the knife and the bowl of Micah's blood, which she had laid to rest upon her bedside table, she turned to the door. Now I must depart. Sweet dreams, my dear Micah. If you are able to sleep, of course, after the excitement of the night. I hope you are able to, despite my rudeness. I wish I could say this would be the last time I would demand so much of you, but I do not want to lie to you, or to give you false hope. That would be a cruelty not even I could perform without flinching. And now she just leaves the room mad. Just making herself mad for no reason.
Like, what is going on?
It was with this final remark that Magdalena finally departed. Micah watched from her bed, cradling her arm in her hand as she left the room, the door closing behind her with a thud. Micah listened as Magdalena's footsteps, feather light, receded from beyond her bedroom door, then vanished altogether. Micah supposed she should have felt relieved now that Magdalena was gone, but it was quite the opposite. Her inner arm still stung, and her mind raced full of frantic thoughts. Her room felt quieter after Magdalena's departure. And for some reason, I felt far, far lonelier.
Bro, it's been what, 2 days? Come on now.
I think it might be longer than that, actually. While Micah convalesced that night, wearied by Magdalena's visit, Magdalena herself could be found in a darkened bedchamber, sitting at the bedside of a shadowy figure. Oh. Magdalena held a bowl in both hands, which was full of viscous, sticky liquid, dark red in actuality, but rendered almost black in the darkness. Huh. Here you are, my dear. I've brought this for you. I do hope it is to your liking. It should be a different blood from the bandits, at least. The one whom I took it from was very sweet. I would not be surprised if her blood is similarly sumptuous. What the fuck is going on? You'll like it, I'm sure of that. I know you're hard to please, but not even you can turn your nose up at this.
Wait, what?
Please. Magdalena's voice wavered. She sighed and sadly looked away. Drink it, and be satisfied. I can't give you more than this. Not for tonight, at least. I fear I might have taken too much from her already. I don't want to hurt her, but... Magdalena inhaled. Her eyes, which were accustomed to the dark, narrowed, her red pupils roving over those of her charge. I would do it, you know, for your sake. I would do anything for you. You mean the world to me. I just wish... Oh, I wish. Magdalena shivered as her beloved began... As her beloved began
Like
to
a
sup
big
from
fat
the
monster.
bowl. That's from what she offered. What the fuck is going on here? Their head bowed, lips parted like a hungry animal. I just wish it didn't have to be this way. Who the fuck?
Holy plot twist. Hello?
Whoa. Okay. All right. Starting to introduce some things that are catching my interest. You're starting to capture my interest.
Intrigued.
What do you mean a love triangle? I will say too, I'm like, love triangle? Who the fuck? Micah had suffered in the
Thanks for
combination.
the follow. Big Mama Temp has joined the Legion.
Welcome in, Big Mama Temp. Micah had suffered in the combination.
I'm joking. Go on, sorry.
I was about to hit you with a good something, but I was like, I couldn't think of the next word, and I was like, I'm a... Thank you for also thanking the follower. I was gonna hit you with a good something, you know, like a good, like good pup.
Huh?
Nothing. Micah had suffered in the culmination of the past 2 weeks, but she was not unique in this. Henny, too, was suffering, albeit in better circumstances than her poor mistress. Henny had been recuperating in Walter Gerhardt's home ever since her frantic escape from Magdalena's abode. She had spent the first week of her stay lying in bed in the servants' quarters, unable to conceive of doing anything more than strenuous than existing. The star with the name... Lush didn't even hear me. Lush didn't hear me. Why'd you have to bring it back up?
Oh, you said good pup? Damn.
No, I didn't.
Like a good pump. I was like, what is that?
Do you think I just randomly said to you, good pump?
Yeah. No, I don't know. Okay, that was like a good word. Like, oh, good job. Like, good pump. I don't know, bro. Was that for me? What the fuck? I thought you were
that wasn't
saying
for you. That was for chat.
Subscriber.
That was for it was for the subscriber. The horror she had witnessed during the night of the bandits' attack had left her nigh on insensible, her body dull and leaden. During this week, the local constabulary had arrived to ask Henny questions about all she had witnessed in the forest. Henny had answered as honestly as she could, or at least as honestly as Walter had permitted. Henny had wanted to tell the police about Magdalena and her inhuman strength, but how could she? If Walter had not believed her, it seemed very unlikely the police would. particularly when Walter had a vested interest in Micah's affairs. Surely, as a bereaved groom-to-be, he should have seized upon any chance to reunite with his fiancée, no matter how implausible the circumstances surrounding said chance seemed. Walter did not seem to care overly much about Micah's disappearance, though. Or, if he did, he did not show it to Henny. His tears, if indeed he had the capacity to cry, were all shed in private, away from prying eyes. In any case, Henny told the police only of the bandits, and of the murder of the Lord and Lady Von Essen. She had told them that she had run from the carriage, Micah in tow, and that during their escape they had become separated, which was not a complete lie. You're better at voicing Henny than me.
Right. It was very late at night, you see, and foggy with it. I couldn't hardly see nothing. I was holding Lady Micah's hand, but I was so afraid I ran on ahead. When my senses had returned, and I stopped to look behind me, I couldn't see Lady Micah anywhere. She just up and vanished.
Fair police officers had asked Henny if she had heard anything suggesting a struggle, or else her mistress's screams, but to this, Henny stubbornly shook her head.
I know what you're implying, and no, I didn't hear any such thing. I don't think the bandits got their filthy mitts on my mistress. I'm sure she escaped, but I've not a clue where she might be right now. She could still be wandering in the woods for all I know. Like a nomad. Oh, I can barely stomach the thought. My poor mistress deserves much better than that. Please, good sirs, I know my mistress is still alive. She must be. Lady Micah might have looked delicate, but she was surprisingly strong. She was quite the tomboy when she was little. She was always getting into scrapes.
She's surprisingly strong because she's wincing off just like a little prick of her arm. She's like, ow, it hurts so much. Ow, why are you cleaning it? Oh, it hurts. Like, I don't know. She seemed, the last scene made her seem quite fragile. Oh, what's up, Kai? Hey, it's the ass kicker here to kick your ass. Hey, stream's going good.
A woman like that wouldn't simply die. She just wouldn't. It's impossible.
Henny asked the officers to search the body for her beloved Micah, and they assured her that they would do everything in their power to help. If by divine providence your mistress still lives, then we will find her. Searching for missing persons is our job. You've no need to trouble yourself on the matter further, Fraulein. I have no idea how to say that German word. It was something, Henny supposed, in the wake of the officer's visit, but their reassurances had not left her feeling particularly cheered. Henny had been able to tell that the constables, like Walter, thought that Micah was a lost cause. Henny did not doubt that the local constabulary would send some officers into the woods to search for a body, but their perfunctory efforts would fail. There's an XO in her collar? Oh yeah, I guess that kind of is XO. They would find the Lord and Lady Von Essen slumped in their carriage, but Micah would be absent. The police could comb the forest as thoroughly as they wished, but any search undertaken with so little information seemed doomed to failure. Henny knew, as surely as she knew her own mother's birthday, that Augsburg officers would never find Micah. Micah's body was not lying on the forest floor, abandoned, curled up and cut apart by bandits. Micah was, instead, at Magdalena's mercy, in her eerie abode deep in the heart of the forest. Whether Micah was still alive was a mystery, but Henny wanted to believe Micah lived still. She had to believe that. She could not bear the thought of her mistress being tortured. Henny feared she might have to countenance such a thought, however, as the days passed and as she heard nothing of the police's investigation. Though Henny was familiar with the phrase, "no news is good news," she rather feared that in this case no news meant nothing was being done. Nobody seemed to care for Micah other than Henny herself, but she could do nothing on her own. Oh, hydrate. Alright, Les, you got some water? You want to join me for a little hydration? We just got a hydrate redeem.
Let's do a cling. Cling.
How do I cling? Okay. Cling!
Nice.
Thank you for the hydrate redeem. What?
Are you getting tired of narrating?
Oh, there's also a stretch redeem. Okay, I'll stretch a little bit. Lush, if you want to stretch too, you can join me.
What does that do?
You just stretch. I'm just stretching. Ooh, I need it.
Ew, are those like gifts? Like, what are those?
Oh, they're
those,
like
gifts?
they're like Twitch redeems. Ooh, my back needs to be cracked so bad. Ow. I don't know. Micah seems to be doing pretty well for herself right now. No, I don't actually. How can you guide me through it?
Yeah.
All right. What do I do?
There's like a few ways. Like you put your knee in front. Like if you're sitting on a chair, just put your leg on the chair.
Why did somebody say fart? Okay, I put my
Your
leg on the chair.
and you like want to like cross your tangle your fingers together. So you're like, you like put your hands together and your fingers are tangled.
Okay.
And then you put your hands on your knees.
Hands on your knees,
Not
Angelina
on my
Jolie.
knee, but, like over your knees, like on your upper calf. You just
Okay.
like, push.
I'm
your,
trying
like,
that. It's not
chest
cracking.
forward.
Ooh.
If you do it really hard, it's really fucking good, dude. Oh my god.
I might have to practice that one a little bit. Growing desperate, Honey had attempted once more to impress upon Walter the seriousness of Micah's situation, but he refused to listen. Who was doing Walter's voice last time? I don't remember. Which one of us did Walter better?
I think.
Okay. Let me find Walter. You would come into my office and talk of bloodsuckers again?
Wow.
Walter had asked of her, his expression one of cultivated disdain. I understand you suffered a nasty tumble in the forest for Henrique, but it has been a week since then. I would have hoped you would have regained some of your senses since then.
I assure you, Garhard, I'm quite sensible. I'm trying to tell you the truth. Micah, she was...
Kidnapped by a vampire. Yes, I know. You have said this twice now. You are very adamant about your claims, I must admit. It's almost impressive in a way. But you are laboring under a misapprehension. Vampires do not exist. Ergo, a vampire could not have captured my Micah. They are the stuff of stories.
But...
Not another word. I'll not have you contradicting me in my own home, Frau Henrique. I took you in because I thought it the right thing to do. Please do not make me regret my act of philanthropy. You can continue to remain here if you wish, for as long as you like. But while you are subsiding upon my kindness, you must abide by my rules. I won't have you banding about vampires in my home and distressing my servants. They are impressionable enough as it is, without you further exciting them with your wild stories.
But they're not stories.
Not to you, perhaps, but that is part of the problem. You do not want to be taken to an asylum, do you?
Of course not.
Then you would do well to hold your tongue. Silence is golden.
But what about Micah? Will you not at least try to look for her?
The police are trying. That is their job. It would not behoove me to get in their way. I'm sure they will turn Micah's body up sooner or later, if there is a body to be found. As for this talk of ferreting out this vampire's secret hidey hole, well, him then he randomly speaks fucking Latin.
What the hell?
Impossibilium
like
nolla
Estelle.
obligatio est.
What the
Did he
hell?
just randomly? That shit would piss me off. I'm sorry, that shit would actually piss me off. Because no way you're talking to me and all of a sudden you just go, Impossibilium nolla obligatio est. Bro, get the fuck out of my face.
That sounds like a whole ass spell, bro.
Just out of nowhere, too. Because it's like, no one else speaks Latin. Like, this isn't something
it,
people
bro.
speak. I mean, also, it's a dead
it,
language.
bro.
I'm
You're
sure
a
it's been,
multilingual queen.
I'm sure by this one it's been a dead language. He just randomly goes, Impossibilium. Like, bro, pretentious ass. Now you may leave. I'm a busy man and I've got a good deal of work to attend to. Out! Out! And that had been the end of that. Swiftly dismissed by Walter, Henny had stalked through the hallways of his home. Why her footsteps so goddamn loud?
That's her ass fat.
Oh,
Like ass, not like that. Fuck.
wow. Oh, I figured you meant like her butt was big.
Yeah.
Clearly not that busy if he knows dead languages, right? Just spending time learning bullshit. I mean, Latin's actually a good thing to learn. It helps you learn other languages, but I know a little bit of Latin too, but it's a dead language. That's part of why I'm critical of him just randomly speaking it in the middle of a fucking sentence. Swiftly dismissed by Walter, Henny had stalked through the hallways of his home, all the while burning with the shame and the anger of it all. How dare Walter treat Micah's welfare in such so cavalier manner? Why, it was almost as though he thought her welfare did not concern him. As though he had not been poised to marry her and inherit her family's august title. That, Henny thought bitterly. Oh, how quickly love could vanish when its foundations were so flimsy. It was never love, though, Henny.
Yeah.
Henny supposed there was a fancy Latin saying to express this sentiment, but if there was, she didn't know it. She was not half so learned as Walter, with all his books and all of his pomp. But at least she had a heart, one which was currently bleeding for her mistress's sake. With no strings of her own to pull, the police incompetent, and Walter well and truly alienated, Henny had not known what next to do. Henny spent the following week ruminating, at a loss. She felt well enough now to move, and so she did. Henny had begun to help her fellow maidservants tend to the household chores in Walter's home, for want of anything better to do, though she was not one of Walter's official employees. Moving her hands gave some relief from the thoughts which whirred in her head, and Henny was acquainted enough with housework that these mundane, repetitive tasks were almost welcome. Beating carpets and polishing banisters remind Henny of a simpler, happier time when she worked for the Lord and Lady Von Essen, and during her breaks had sneaked into Micah's room to play cards with her. What was with the stream stopping and restarting? Is it doing it again? Or are you talking about like an hour
No.
ago?
It didn't restart for me.
Okay. Micah had always lost at cards. She had been hopeless at it. Her ability to tell lies had almost been non-existent, but she had told many lies for Henny's sake. She had risked her own life for that of her maid. Would any other mistress have been so kind? Henny did not imagine that Micah's mother, the indomitable Lady Von Essen, would. She was the kind of woman who would have drowned puppies to save her own neck. Not that her ruthless calculations had done her much good in the end. She had died, but Micah had not. Not yet, at least. That was what Henny hoped. With each day that passed, however, it grew harder to cling on to this hope of hers, which had begun to look rather fragile. It was easier for Henny to endure her anxieties while the sun was still up, and she had chores to attend to. At night, however, as she lay in bed in the darkened servants' quarters, her fears began to crowd in about her. Micah was never far from Henny's mind, but it was impossible to completely extricate her young mistress from her thoughts during quiet moments such as these. Scored by the slow, soothing sighs of 6 other women, all curled beneath their thin covers, dreaming their own domestic dreams, Henny thought. She was so lost in her thoughts on one particular night, however, that she failed to hear the creak of floorboards beneath her, and as such, nearly jumped out of her skin when a soft voice called to her from the shadows. Why Stream Elements keep saying I'm now live? I've been live. What is going on? Maybe it is ending? Oh yeah, it did end and restart, didn't it?
What?
My stream
but it
is
says you've been live for 50 minutes.
For me, it says I've been live for 3. What the heck? Alright, if anyone else is having an issue with the stream, let me know. What is going on?
Is it good? Are you good?
I think it's good, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
Alrighty.
She was so lost in her thoughts on one particular night, however, that she failed to hear the creak of the floorboards beneath her, and as such nearly jumped out of her skin when a soft voice called to her from the shadows. Oh, kind of a cutie. I like redheads.
Oh.
Are you alright?
Oh, what the hell? Oh.
I'm imagining that Enrique used the tone you used the first time and then like corrected her tone. Like, oh shit, people can hear me. And he gasped in surprise and wheeled about, her elbow bumping against the chipped sill with a dull thud. The collision of elbow against wood sill was a loud one, but Henny's reluctant curses were louder still.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn. Fuck. Damn it.
And that was Henny's entire line, actually. She did all of that in front of this woman. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Fuck. Damn it.
I'm trying, okay? Damn.
Oh, Venom, your audio? Is my audio oh my god, this shit is so annoying. I have to... A friend warned me about Intel, and I think I'm seeing now that Intel is bad. Something happened with Intel recently, apparently, that's making streams bad. A couple of maids shifted at this, their eyelids fluttering, but they did not wake. Not a single one of them. They must have been exhausted by the tasks they performed day in, day out, under Gertrude's watchful gaze. Walter Gerhardt mightn't have cared much for his missing fiancée, but he cared a good deal about the running of his home, and he had ordered Gertrude to be exacting in her duties as his housekeeper. His maidservants were all run ragged, and Henny was no exception to this. Goodness me! The owner of the timid voice who had startled Henny so exclaimed, then started forwards. A shaft of moonlight fell upon the mysterious interloper's face, and Henny soon divined that they were not so very mysterious after all. Oh, she's a little cutie!
Yeah.
The speaker was none other than Agnes. Agnes Becker was a small, slender thing,
What?
about 15 or 16 years of age. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't say worse. With a shock of fiery red hair, rather like Micah's, that did not at all match her reserved personality. Her snub nose was smattered liberally with freckles, and her eyes were brown? Like those of a doe? Those look green. Gay? Gay? These look green to me. That's confusing. Henny
What'd he say?
They said her eyes are brown.
It looks kind of blue, gray, and
Yeah.
green at the same time. I don't
Yeah.
know what color
It definitely
that
just
is.
doesn't look brown. It definitely just doesn't look brown. Henny had made little effort of ingratiating herself with Walter's servants and seemed to waste, given she had no intentions of remaining in this household. But she had grown rather fond of Agnes despite herself that during the last 2 weeks. It was not hard to be fond of Agnes when she was so sweet and so gentle and so eager to please. Actually, I wonder if the YouTube went off. 1 second, let me just check that. Okay, we're still good on YouTube. That's good. Ooh, getting sleepy a little bit. Though Henny thought grimly she did not feel all that fond of her now, with her elbow smarting as it did. I'm very sorry. Agnes mumbled this apology to her feet, her fingers twined together at the front. She was wearing a nightgown, a white, shapeless thing made of flannel. Why are you telling me about her nightgown? I actually don't give a fuck. I didn't mean to startle you. I only saw you were awake, and, well, I'm also awake, as you can clearly see.
Yes, I can see. It might be dark, but I do have eyes and ears alongside them.
Right. Of course. I'm sorry. That was silly of me to say. I always seem to say silly things. The other mates say I must have porridge for brains, and maybe they're right. Little idiot, Hermione calls me, and I think she's right.
Hermione? Sorry.
But I'm getting carried away again. Sorry. Agnes flushed.
Dude, I can't.
What?
I'm sorry. No, you're doing really good.
What? No, say what you want to say.
No, it just sounded really cute.
Agnes flushed, and her whole face seemed to catch fire. Her cheeks and her hair a bright, striking red. I've been finding it hard to sleep lately myself. I've not been here all that long, and I'm missing my parents, and... Oh, but that's not important. I actually wanted to talk to you about you, not myself. I've wanted to talk to you for a while, actually. If you don't mind, that is.
Well, that depends on what you want to talk about.
Oh, well, I hope it doesn't seem like too much of an imposition. I don't want to pry, really, but I've been wondering. You, were attacked by bandits, weren't you? At least that's what I heard. Hermione was talking about it. I don't know if it's true or not, though. Hermione says a lot of things. She's an awful gossip, and I thought that might have been one of her silly stories. It almost sounds too dramatic to be real. Henny surveyed Agnes mutely for a few moments, unblinking. Walter had warned Henny not to speak of that night amongst his maids for fear of exciting them, a warning Henny tried to adhere to. She possessed no desire to make an enemy of Walter Gerhardt, not when she had been hoping to form an alliance with him. This had been before Walter's second insensitive dismissal of Henny's worries, however. Now the young maid knew Walter could not be persuaded. He was an arrogant bully of a man, and Henny no longer cared tuppence for him. She would have preferred to keep out of trouble, but it was as though Henny had spoken of her experiences with the other maids. She had been stony-lipped about the night the bandits had ransacked Lord and Lady Von Essen's carriage, and about her and Micah's escape. If the other maids had guessed what happened through hearsay and whispered rumors, Henny could hardly be blamed for it. She would only be confirming what Agnes already suspected. And so it was, after a pause, that Henny replied.
No, Hermione is right. I really was chased by a bunch of rotten bandits. and so was my poor mistress.
Goodness. I was sure Hermione was making things up again, but does that mean there really are bandits out there in the woods? Agnes cast an uneasy glance out the window, then shuddered. I've no need to go into the woods myself. My parents always warned me it was dangerous, but it's scary to think about all the same.
It was scary to live through. It was scary to live through too, I assure you. But I reckon it was much worse for my mistress.
Oh yes, I'm sure it would have been. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're all right, at least, but your mistress... That must have been difficult.
It was, yes. Jealous.
Do you think about her a lot?
Every single day.
I see. I'm sorry for asking so many questions. I'm just curious, is all. I've never met anybody who was attacked by bandits before, and it must have been terrifying. I just hope I don't seem tactless. Hermione says I talk before I think, but Hermione's rude to everybody. Even Frau Schreiber.
All right. You couldn't be more tactless than your employer is. At least you actually seem to care.
You mean Herr Gerhardt?
That's right.
Did you have a quarrel with him? Hermione said he'd been shouting at you in his office last week, but I don't know if I believe that either. Herr Gerhardt is strict, but he isn't a bad man. There are worse employers, and it was nice of him to let you stay here. I don't think he means ill.
Maybe he doesn't mean any ill, but I don't know if he means any good either. Herr Gerhardt only seems to care about Herr Gerhardt, which is fine. I'll fancy, if you're a businessman and you're trying to get things done. Treating your fiancé in such a flippant way, however, I think that's downright wicked.
So, you two did have an argument.
We did, yes. I didn't know anybody had overheard it, though. It was supposed to be private.
I'm afraid nothing stays private for very long around here. It took Hermione less than a week to snuff out the family's dark secrets. Oh, my family's dark secrets. Though how she did it, I have no idea. She seems to know absolutely everything that happens in this place.
Do you think she's listening to us right now?
Henny glanced at Hermione's bed, which was located next to Agnes, a second along from the window. The famous Hermione herself was laying beneath the covers, curled up, her copper hair spooled across her pillow like a tangle of snakes. Henny had spoken little to the maids under Walter's employ, but even she was aware of Hermione. She appeared of age with Henny, perhaps slightly older, and she was so stunningly beautiful she seemed almost otherworldly. Though a maid, Hermione possessed an attitude more appropriate for a duchess. She often ignored her tasks to gossip with other maids, a fact which frustrated Gertrude to no end. Gertrude was forever having stern words with Hermione, who never seemed to take any of it to heart. For the amount of time she found herself in hot water, Hermione had yet to be properly scalded. Henny had to wonder why Hermione had not been dismissed from Walter Gerhardt's household, but perhaps Walter had a soft spot for her. It wasn't hard to see why. One only needed to look at Hermione's face. She looked eerily like Micah.
Oh.
So much they could have been sisters. Is he fucking his maid? Walter Gerhardt must have had a type. Oof, wow. I think she's asleep. Agnes spoke while looking at the dozing Hermione. Her voice was uncertain. Frowning, Agnes turned her turned her back on Hermione and said, Hermione said that you said that your mistress was still alive. Herr Gerhardt thinks she was killed by bandits, but you think she's taken a prisoner instead. You said she had been kidnapped by a vampire.
Oh my, why are you tickling my ear right now?
Sorry, I'm trying to whisper.
No,
I'm trying to be in
that
character.
Was good. That was good, actually. I was like, whoa. It didn't even sound like you at all.
You know, sometimes I do little voice acting. Push his hair behind the ear. The word vampire was horribly out of place in the quiet servants' quarters and sounded ludicrous, preposterous even. Henny could see with comfortable clarity why Walter had regarded her with such scorn when she had told him about Magdalena. Henny must have appeared crazed when she began espousing upon such grisly subjects, which were unfit for ladies to dwell upon. But no matter how feasible, that did not make it any less truthful.
Yes, that's exactly it. I know that vampires exist. I've seen one with my own two eyes. I won't let anybody deny that. Not even Walter bloody Gerhardt. Even if he thinks me touched in the head. What does that even mean? What the hell is that?
It's supposed to be her accent, like she's supposed to be like lower class and like speak and so I think it's supposed to be like, even if he thinks me touched in the head, something like that. Like I think that's how you imagine it in her accent, but also yeah, it does feel super out of place with everything else.
I am not crazy. I'm perfectly sane. A vampire kidnapped my mistress. She kidnapped me too, but my mistress convinced her to let me go. Even now, she's still there in her castle, while that awful vampire does God only knows what with her. Micah risked her life for my sake. Helping her is the least I can do.
1 second.
Castle, while that awful... Why am I hearing myself?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to see if there's anywhere where how long I've been streaming is actually visible. Because I don't know how long I've been streaming because it's been stopping and starting again. Right. Analytics. Stream health. Great. It's not gonna tell me. Cool. Nice. Oh, an hour. Okay, we've been streaming about an hour. Perfect. Are you slurping in the background? What was that?
No? What do you mean?
Don't gaslight me. Weren't you just like slurping in the background?
What if I say yes, will you like beat me?
No, I would never beat you unless it was like a play fight.
You beat me yesterday.
In a play fight.
Whatever.
You literally got in the boxing ring on Roblox with me. That was a play fight, and you are just mad that you lost.
Which I didn't lose.
You're just mad that you lost.
I didn't lose. Okay.
No, you're right. You totally won. But then I wouldn't have beat you.
Yes.
Then you said I beat you, so I didn't beat you. You beat
me
me
really hard, but I still won. I only beat you lightly, okay?
How did you win if you only beat me lightly?
I just won like that.
Okay, Lush.
Did you lose twice? Who the hell is that? Stop it. Is that Monty?
Yes, Monty and Lush had a battle for who was the best pup in Roblox boxing.
Well, you don't have to tell him that. What the hell is wrong with you? Hey!
It was a joke.
Okay, let's just move on, please. Let's move on.
I'm sorry. Wait, should I have not said that? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just overreacting.
Here's your next line.
I tried to talk to I tried to talk to Hart Garhart around, but he won't see reason. He threatened to send me to an asylum if I keep up with this talk of vampires, and then I really will be in a pinch.
Mm.
I'm trying to be strong for Micah's sake, but I haven't the foggiest of what to do next. Is that foggiest? Foggiest? What is that? I thought it was foggiest because like
yeah,
my
it
mind
is
was
foggiest.
foggy.
Yeah. You are correct.
I feel like a headless chicken. Oh, can you laugh? That was funny. Come
so
on.
Immersive. I did laugh. I snorted a little bit. I said, but I didn't pick up.
Okay.
I said, or something like that. I said, does that satisfy you?
Oh,
Do you need me to laugh
yes,
more
very much.
heartily?
Heartily, yes. Oh, thank you so much. Yay.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, and if you're anything like your master, you probably think I'm batty now too.
I do think you're a baddie. Oh no, I don't think you're crazy, Enrique. Not at all.
No.
You too?
You don't? What the?
No, you might be crazy with concern about your mistress, but I can't blame you for that. You must love her a lot to fret this much. You're a very loyal servant.
I was more than Micah's servant. I was her friend, too. We'd been together since we were children. She meant everything to me. She still does. I want to save her more than anything, but I keep running into dead ends. It doesn't seem like anybody in this place wants to help.
It does sound very difficult, but you're not alone anymore. I believe you, even if Herr Gerhardt doesn't. I don't think you're a liar, and I don't think you're insane either. This is why I wanted to talk to you, actually. It's because I heard about the vampires and well...
Agnes, with doe-like eyes filled with determination as she said,
I had to check first, to make sure Hermione wasn't telling tales. But now I know there's some truth to the rumors. I'd like to try and help you.
Help me?
No, this was a surprising turn of events. Henny hadn't expected that Agnes would be so willing to swallow her frankly unbelievable tales of bloodsuckers, nor that she would offer to aid her. What this aid entailed, however, was yet a mystery. Agnes was small and slender, with limbs like twigs, and she was so very young. It was unlikely she knew much about the world.
Such a baby.
She might have even been more isolated than Micah had been. Agnes, unlike Walter, had no wealth nor any connections. She was just a maid, a simple girl from a poor family, working for pennies to support her parents. While it was nice to be believed, Henny did not place much faith in her as a potential ally. She didn't want to get her hopes up prematurely, but she was intrigued.
How could you help me exactly?
Agnes must have heard the apprehension in Henny's voice because, once more, she blushed.
Oh, no, you misunderstand. I wouldn't be helping you. Not directly, at least. I'd never be able to best a, vampire. But I know somebody who can.
Oh, was her, dark past that her family's vampire hunters?
Mm. And who would this be?
If you want somebody to look for your mistress, somebody who really cares, I mean, you should go to St. Celia's this coming Sunday. There's a priest who sometimes gives sermons there called Father Dorvek. He's very open-minded, and I'm sure he would listen to your concerns without questioning you.
Are you open-minded?
Are you open-minded?
Are you open-minded? You must be very open-minded indeed. Swallow stories about vampires in good faith. You better be from Hongdae, boy. Come on.
Your next line.
How do you even say that? How do you pronounce that?
I don't know. I'm guessing
Dvorak?
Dorak.
Dvorak, okay.
Dvorak? I don't
Dvorak?
know. Honestly, I think we can
Dvorak.
pronounce it however we want.
And Father Dvorak? Where does he come from? That's no name I've ever heard before.
Zenta's saying Dvorak. Dvorak? Dvorak. Huh.
He's from Bohemia, I think. He has a bit of an accent, but his German is fluent, and his sermons are really quite good. My mother is very fond of him. She always used to take me to listen to him preach, whenever he was at St. Celia's, which he isn't always. He would often disappear for weeks, sometimes months at a time.
So, he's a traveling priest?
Hey, Chili. Agnes nodded.
He's recently returned from a trip, though. I think he's in Augsburg now. You should be able to see him this Sunday, or at least I think you should. I'd be disappointed if you can't. I've been meaning to attend his sermon this Sunday, too.
You sound very fond of this Bohemian priest.
Oh, I am. I can't sing Father Dvorak's phrases enough. He's a real gentleman. He helped my mother a lot, you see, after my father, well...
What?
Agnes blushed hotly, as seemed to be her wont.
I won't go into that. It's personal. You'll probably find out sooner or later, but... You'll probably find out sooner or later anyway, if you stay here long enough. Hermione likes to needle me about it, as if I'm somehow to blame for my father's actions. But enough about that. Father Dvorak listened to my mother's concerns, and he consoled her. He helped her through a very difficult time.
Hi, Cece. I'm sure he'll be... Oh, sorry.
I'm sure he'll be able to do the same for you.
He sounds like a nice man. But isn't helping with family affairs rather different from hunting down vicious vampires? Hello. Hello, Cece.
Well, my family's affairs were rather sensitive in nature. I'm not talking about a mere domestic dispute here. It was a rather complicated matter, but Father Dvorak helped a lot, when I was sure nobody else could. He really is incredible.
Yeah, Cece?
Is he now?
Annie raised an eyebrow, but if Agnes saw it, perhaps she didn't. It was rather dark. She made no comment on it. Instead, she clenched her hands into fists and said with as much... Okay, Cece. Hi. Yeah? Do you wanna... Are you locked in the room? Okay, let me let you out.
Meow.
Cece.
Meow.
Yeah? What's
Meow.
going on with
Meow.
you? Yeah, you wanna...
Meow, meow, meow.
Okay.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow.
Instead, she clenched her hands into fists and said with as much excitement as she dared given the lateness of the hour.
Yes, he gives spiritual guidance to anybody who needs it, but he also has experience dealing with unholy monsters. He even performs exorcisms. He's a perfect man for the job, and he's a priest. You can trust him.
Well, I wonder.
The ponderous Henny glanced away from Agnes, whose enthusiasm was almost palpable, to the window. It seemed highly unlikely that a single priest would be able to stop Magdalena, even one who came as highly recommended as his father Dvorak. And he had seen how Magdalena had torn those bandits limb from limb in the blinking of an eye. It would take a whole fleet of men to stop Magdalena, and it was doubtful whether even that would be enough. But this Father Dvorak must have been better than nothing. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you, thank you.
Annie had little faith in Agnes's priest, but she would seek him out all the same. She did not stand to lose anything by a brief consultation, not when she had already lost everything she cared for.
Oh, so bro, I was facing.
When you suddenly really realize you have a line, is so funny because your voice is naturally so deep. So you start the Henny line with, "Oh,
All right then.
Oh, all right then. Let me speak to this highly esteemed father. Perhaps he can help."
Henny only hoped, as she gazed at the night sky, that she had not left it too late.
Can we get some action going, please? Let's get some action going.
Oh, we got another hydrate redeem. You want to clink our little glasses?
Yeah, let's go. Cling. Oh my god, is that actually a glass? I'm drinking from a bottle.
Don't ruin the immersion.
Guys, I was kidding. It was actually a glass and we totally clinked.
We're here together right now in person. Clink my nuts? What the fuck are you talking about, Monty? How are we gonna clink your nuts? They're too small.
Oh,
Micah
okay.
felt weary when she awoke the following morning, exhausted after a night of uneasy sleep which had been broken up with bad dreams. The gash upon the inside of her wrist still stung, though it had stopped bleeding. The gash was not particularly large, but it showed up starkly on Micah's skin, a thin ribbon of bright red, which had intercepted the whiteness of her arm. Oh, we got another hydrate. Y'all like hearing us clink, huh? All right, clink.
Link.
Micah sighed as she sat upright, shivering as the cover slipped from her bare shoulders. Is she wearing the same nightgown every night? Does it get washed? It was a cold, overcast sort of morning, the rays of light which streamed into her room thin and gray. Briefly, Micah considered rising, dressing, and washing her face, but soon dismissed this idea. She had not the energy to go about her daily routine as though nothing was awry, a thought almost unbearable. Micah's tiredness was nothing more than a physical feeling, and was entrenched within her mind, deeper than the tangled knot of roots which fed the mightiest of oak trees. All right, guys, which one of you enjoyed that
Was
clicker?
that a clicker?
Yeah.
Me. I'm joking.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Alright, bro.
Magdalena had not taken so very much of her blood the night prior, but Micah still felt drained. She still had enough blood in her veins to animate her arms and legs, but her body refused to move. She did not take that much fucking blood. Why are we being so dramatic about this? She pricked her arm, took a little basin of blood. That's about as much as you lose in a period. She's fine. Why are we doing all this?
She's just a girl.
She's just a girl.
She was too
Pale,
preoccupied with her
skinny
thoughts
girl.
of... She's just a...
Pale, skinny girl who's just really tough because she was a tomboy when she was younger, but she's also very fragile and she loves
Not
reading
as
books.
tomboy as God tomboy is more.
She was too preoccupied with her thoughts of last night and of Magdalena. The way your head popped up, yeah, Monty. Every time that clicker goes off, it reminds me that you're actually like clicker trained. She was too preoccupied with her thoughts of last night and of Magdalena. Though unwilling to admit it, Micah might have begun to grow fond of her captor. Now I'm thinking about clickers, and I'm like, oh, I should make a clicker training audio. I don't know how to clicker train somebody, though. Does anybody in chat... Actually, Monty, I'm going to ask for your advice on it, and if anybody else in chat knows about clicker training.
Wait, click a what?
Clicker training.
Oh, clicker training?
Yeah. I'm gonna, if anybody knows about
like
it
for a cat?
in the Discord, no, for, yeah, your advice. I mean, you've been, you know what? We'll talk about this off stream, but you just gave me an idea, Monty. I don't know. I'm the dog here.
Wait, what are you talking about? Where did that come from?
So there's redeems on my page, and oh well, you heard it, the clicker 7, that wasn't me. 7 redeemed the clicker. That was like a soundboard that they can redeem with channel points. So 7 redeemed the clicker, and then Monty was talking about how her head popped up, and something about that gave me the idea of possibly doing a clicker training audio. I was like, oh, that could be fun actually. So that's what I'm talking about, is I just had an idea. But yeah, back to the novel. Though unwilling to admit it, Micah might have begun to grow fond of her captor. I have actually clicker trained actual dogs, and I have no idea if it's the same for kinky ass people. It actually is very similar. I've heard that it's basically the same thing, but just like slightly different.
Let's
rewarding.
find out.
Live clicker training, Lush on stream. Chat, should we do it? I'm just joking.
Let's do it.
Night Owl Cafe, are you in the Discord actually? Because I actually could possibly use that advice. That would be so fucking goofy, bro. Just me trying to practice on you. Oh my god. All right. Though unwilling to admit it, Micah might have begun to grow fond of her captor.
What is this? There's like this syndrome, like, what syndrome is this?
Stockholm.
Like you fall for your Stockholm syndrome. Is this
Do you know why
syndrome?
do you know why that phrase started?
No.
So basically there was, I forget the exact story. I'm probably going to butcher the story because I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to say it from memory and see how much I actually remember. Basically in Stockholm, there was some sort of hostage situation where it was like a building full of just like civilians who were being held hostage by this little group of people. But the group of people were like really nice to them. They were like really comforting, really reassuring. They were like, hey, we don't actually want to hurt you guys. You're going to be okay. I think they might have even explained why they were doing it. And by the end of it, the victims like were on the captor's side and they were trying to support them and were very adamant about like working with them. So they could get what they wanted because they trusted them and they grew like a bond with them after like how nicely they were treated and how much they had like felt like they bonded with their captors. And so that's why the phrase Stockholm syndrome happens, because it's
that,
you would develop that.
Yeah, I would do that so quick.
Oh my god. I don't even know how to respond to that one. I hope no one takes advantage of that. And I hope
It's okay because you will protect me, Alpha.
I will. But you just talked about... Okay, Stockholm isn't actually a good example of the syndrome. Is it really? Huh. Zinta, feel free to elaborate. Zinta's always saying so many smart things. I would love to hear an elaboration. I have a rant about Stockholm syndrome. You go for it too, Night Owl Cafe.
It's just like the norm that's like, popular.
It was actually less that the bad guys treat them well and more that the cops treat them so poorly. Oh, really? Is that how it went? Oh, wow. Okay, so it was less about... so it was almost more out of spite for the cops in that scenario. Huh. Interesting. Well, hey. I guess I misremembered the story a little bit. I guess in reality, it was less about the... Because I've always understood it as, like, bonding with your captor because... you're in close proximity with your captor and you bond with your captor. But it sounds like the original story actually... Well, actually, I think that is a definition of Stockholm Syndrome. But it sounds like in the original scenario that it was... like, this phrase came by, it was more out of spite for the cops. So the cops pushed the Stockholm Syndrome story to cover up their own shortcomings. Whoa. The cops were planning on storing the place and were not super concerned with civilian casualties. Whoa. Yeah, well, I guess cops tend to do that. Cops do in fact tend to do that. For a self-proclaimed monster, Magdalena's company had not been too unbearable. Not when she spoke to Micah of novels and of poetry. Micah had even begun to wonder whether Magdalena was a monster at all. Surely nobody who talked so animately about romanticism could be wicked. Why, Magdalena liked a lot of the same poets Micah did, and many more she had never even heard of. Magdalena spoke of written word with such piquancy, it was really rather touching. Also, sorry, I am actually a little bit fascinated with the Stockholm Syndrome thing, so when I see you guys talk about it, I want to read it. Also, the psychiatrist who initially diagnosed the victim did so without assessing her properly and just came up with it based on public statements she made. Oh, wow. So this is actually a whole conspiracy, the way the Stockholm Syndrome originated.
Wow, there's level to this.
Wow, you learn something new every day. I'm actually glad this conversation came up, because I would have never known this.
You guys are so smart. Wow.
Bro, my community is so fucking smart, dude. They always impress me with just the random smart shit that they do. I don't even know how I attracted so many smart people. I'm so stupid. Maybe it's that the beautiful smart women like a dumb little himbo. Is that what it is, guys? Thank you, I'm smart. Seven, I wasn't actually you're not a woman, so you weren't included in that statement. So you're something else entirely, and I don't know if I would call it what I just said.
Wait, what is 7?
I'd say a silly little troll. You're a silly little troll, Seven. No, Seven actually is incredibly smart and incredibly mature, and I actually do get impressed with Seven quite a lot. I just like giving Seven shit. I do like himbos. Yeah, Zenta, you do have a soft spot for himbos. Yes, the dynamic is so funny. Yeah, because I'll just be stupid as fucking up my stream, and I'll be like, help, guys, help. I'm too stupid, help. All right. Let's go back to the visual novel. At least, and wait, what was the last line? Magdalena spoke the written word with such piquancy it was really rather touching. At least, until she had introduced a knife to Micah's wrist. The mango pit incident. Let's not talk about that one.
Oh my god.
Lush Lily made me the most beautiful birthday art of me as a mango, talking about the mango's revenge, and I made it a sticker in my server, and it's so cute. And I made the other one, you made a sticker too, us holding hands, peeing.
Yeah, bro.
It was so cute. My heart was touched so much. I was like, oh my god. What's the mango pit incident? Oh god, it's something that happened in the Discord. Basically, I had a juicer and I was like going through a juicing phase where I was like juicing a bunch of fruits, and I juiced this mango, but I didn't know that mangoes had pits in them. I didn't know there was anything in the middle of a mango. I just thought it was just mango. And so I put the whole mango in my juicer, and the pit got stuck, and I broke the entire juicer. And I was sitting there like, I posted it in Discord chat, and I was like, hey guys, you guys are smart, right? How the fuck do I fix this? And they're like, how the fuck did you do that? And I was like, I didn't know mangoes had pits. And I think I remembered Zenta specifically saying, something along the lines of, I always managed to, like, that the himbos in her life always managed to surprise her with the new levels of fucking things up that they managed to figure out. And so now it's been referred to as the mango incident because it was like a thing that happened in the Discord that everyone was trying to help me fix this juicer, and I ended up shipping it to Shay actually to just decide so she could fix it at some point if they wanted to, and they could keep it, because I managed to scam Amazon into just replacing it and not charging me for the replacement. So yep, that is the mango incident. All right guys, let's read this novel. we need to get through some of this novel so we can finally get to Eclipse, because oh my god guys, Eclipse is so beautiful. I need Dale so bad. I need Khalifa bad too. Dale's the one that you're playing actually. Dale's the one that you're gonna play.
Oh, okay.
She's so fucking hot. She's so hot, and her personality is so hot, and I need her so bad. And I'm playing Haisu. Yeah. So yeah, I would like for us to get to that soon, but we have to finish this one first because you guys are completionists. And so we gotta finish it. And it's starting to pick up, so at least there's that. Magdalena
Let's finish together. Okay, go on.
How would you say it like that?
Come on, just go.
Yes.
Go.
No, it's okay, Lish. We can finish together. Magdalena had not looked happy about this turn of events, however. She had been rather apologetic about the whole affair, but this served only to make Micah even more curious. Why had Magdalena drained her blood if she did not wish to do so? Micah turned this thought over in her head, stewing it in, when... Excuse me? Micah's musings were interrupted by a rapping of knuckles upon her bedroom door. Oh, I hit my keyboard instead and I ruined the sound effect. And a familiar voice which spoke in an unfamiliarly soft tone. It was, of course, Magdalena. Are you awake, Micah? And if so, may I come in? I've brought you your breakfast. Micah frowned at, and, letting her arm drop to her side, cast her gaze to the door. Magdalena's nightly visits had been regular throughout Micah's imprisonment, but never once had Magdalena visited her in the morning. Micah had not known Magdalena was able to wander about in the early hours, being a vampire. She thought them sensitive to sunlight.
Well, it's a cloudy day.
Not, Micah supposed, that it was a particularly sunny morning. Miserable would have been the most apt description for it. Her bedroom was freezing. Micah? Magdalena's voice called through the wood once more, and though Micah had resolved a new dislike for her, she felt her heart quiver. I wonder what else is quivering with Micah. Magdalena sounded less like an unconscionable villain and rather more like an awkward, uneasy young girl. Why, she sounded almost as ill at ease as Micah felt. Micah found she could not remain silent upon hearing this. Maybe Henny had been right about her. She was too soft, and so responded.
Yes, I'm awake. And yes, you can come in.
Micah's words were answered with the click of a lock. Her bedroom door swung open to reveal Magdalena, a tray balanced precariously between her hip and her right hand. Magdalena set the tray down, then turned to lock the door. Once it was secured, she brought it to Micah and said, "Oh, I'm glad to see you're awake. I was afraid you might be lying in your bed, passed out after last night's excitement."
Is that what you want to call it?
Well, I suppose I could be more direct, but it doesn't feel very genteel to talk of bleeding you like a pig. Like a pig? Well, that's an extra detail you added, Magdalena. Jesus.
That is what you did, though. And it wasn't very genteel either.
I thought this was gonna be like a little kinky, little pain play, but she seems quite upset about it. I know, I didn't much want to do it. But I don't suppose that counts for much, really, when I still did it. I tried to be quick about it, though, and I cleaned your cut afterwards. I'd hate for it to get infected.
It was awfully considerate of you, I'm sure.
I'm being as considerate as I can, which I know isn't very, but look, I wouldn't be here to see you if I didn't care. Here's your breakfast. Are you hungry? Magdalena handed Micah the tray, which she accepted, the teacup shifting on its saucer. Micah poured herself a cup of fragrant tea with one weak, trembling arm, though she wasn't much in the mood for it. Micah didn't want to eat or drink anything. She felt too weary. Magdalena was looking at her with expectant eyes, however, and Micah didn't want to upset her. Oh yeah, because I had to fucking feed her or something. I forgot about that. That would have seemed cruel, especially when she was trying so hard. I was wondering. Micah swallowed a mouthful of her tea. It was chamomile today. Then looked at Magdalena curiously.
What is it?
I wish I had a vampire girlfriend bringing me tea every morning. That seems nice. You've been shut up inside this room for a long time now. Almost an entire fortnight. If I were in your position, If I were in your position, I'm afraid I would have gone quite mad. I've never seen her eyes that big. Micah did not say as much. She was busy sipping her tea, but she did not wish to discard the possibility. Her warring feelings about Magdalena did not point at all to a healthy mind. But then again, Micah's mind had never been healthy. Not in the way a young woman's ought to. I do feel sorry for you, keeping you cooped up like this. It can't be good for you. I would hate to make you miserable, or, well... Magdalena smiled bashfully. If she had been human, perhaps she would have blushed, but her pale cheeks remained chalky. More miserable than I'm making you already. I don't want us to be enemies. I'm quite glad of your company, in fact, and I've tired of this jailer and warden act. I think it might be nice if we could engage in a pursuit that would be more conventional for a pair of young ladies. The word conventional put Micah in mind of her mother and the Von Essen drawing room and her horrid embroidery hoop. Her back stiffened with a frown as she said,
Such as?
Magdalena is short or Micah's just tall? Magdalena is short. They did talk about it. They said that Magdalena is quite short. And
is it just me or is she like getting like too soft?
Who, Magdalena?
Yeah. Where's my alpha vampire mommy, bro? Be my mommy.
You want her to be rougher?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, me too. Like this, like I thought after that I was okay, what I thought was gonna happen after that was that Michael's gonna be like, but why did I kind of like it? And then Magdalena maybe still continue to be like soft and gentle, but like sort of like teasing her a bit more, you know? But instead it's just like, I'm so sorry that I pricked your arm and took a little bit of blood from you. How could you? I can't believe you've done this to me. It hurts so bad. Like, what is going on? Lush said step on me. Yeah, I guess Lush did kind of say that.
I didn't say that. What the hell?
You might as well have. Imagine we do like a... Have you heard of that one anime, Ghost Stories? How like apparently the script was so bad that the voice actors just completely did their own thing? No?
I think I know. It's like a vintage anime, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like this really old anime.
I'm not saying that this is...
Kids.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this is a bad script, but imagine that me and Lush just go off the rails and just start reading our own lines and ignoring everything here. Yeah, Ghost Stories dub is insane. Yeah, it is crazy.
Oh yeah, Ghost Stories dub.
Please do that? No, I don't know. Maybe not today. We'll think about it.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
My, you're looking at me with such mistrust. I have no ulterior motives here, Micah. I'm always very upfront when I wish harm upon people, and I will continue to be so. What I say is what I mean. You have no need to second guess me. I thought only that we might take a turn around the garden. It isn't much to look at now. You should have seen it 1 century ago, but it's less impressive than this room, at any rate. Not that that's much of an accomplishment. Would you mind accompanying me? Magdalena's smile was light, but Micah could see something dark lurking beyond it. Not bloodlust, but a desire for something more intangible. Something dark lurking beyond it. Huh.
I'm really interested about the thing.
Yeah, I am curious what's going on there. Micah could still recall Magdalena's earlier claim that she cared about her, no matter how contrary her actions seemed to be. I mean, yeah, you know what? Let's give Micah some sympathy because she has been like literally locked up for like half a month. Did Magdalena feel guilty? Well, good. Magdalena should have felt guilty. She deserved as much after what she had done. That was what Micah wished to think, at least, but part of her could not help but pity her. Micah had been lonely, shut up inside her drab bedchamber, but what of Magdalena? Surely she had suffered worst, and for far longer. Though Magdalena had come, ostensibly, to offer Micah respite from her incarceration, perhaps Magdalena had been hoping for a bit of peace herself. That was why, after a pause, Micah assented.
Alright, we can go to the garden if you like. Though it's been such a long while since I last stretched my legs. I'm afraid I might have forgotten how. Are you serious?
She's so dramatic. Oh, don't worry about that. If you do fall, I can catch you. I'm very strong, you know. Magdalena grinned, her sharp incisors flashing, and as she did, Micah was struck by a very strange thought indeed. Magdalena looked surprisingly, disarmingly pretty when she smiled. Oh, she's blushing. Oh.
She's cute, she's cute.
Oh my god, their outfits!
Ooh.
She's making her goth. I love that. I love this idea of her just like taking her and being like, okay, you're goth now.
Why
You
is
have to
she
wear
using
my
the
clothes.
umbrella?
Oh yeah, why is she
Shouldn't
the one using the
vampire
umbrella?
Using the
That's a beautiful
Ah,
umbrella
it's
though.
not
Look at this
protecting
cool ass umbrella. Oh my god, that's so
Wow.
fucking cool.
The detail.
I think it's just like, but isn't that just like a thing ladies did back in the day so they could stay pale? They would go outside and use umbrellas so they could stay pale.
Why would you want to be pale? What?
Because like, especially like back then, like it was a good thing to be pale.
Like the beauty standard?
Yeah, it was like if you were pale,
okay.
because I think it was also a sign of wealth. Because if you were pale, that meant that you didn't have to labor outside,
Yes.
and you also like could afford to keep your skin tone pale by not like being like a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my alarm. 1 second. Overwrite that save. Yes. Return. Oh, it really is a dull day. Well, it's almost as gloomy outside as it was in. Magdalena sighed as she surveyed her garden, or what remained of it. Oh, we got a stretch and another hydrate. Okay. Hydrate!
Clink, 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 clink.
And then a stretch. Thank you guys for taking care of us. And reminding us to stretch and hydrate.
We do very much appreciate it. We don't usually do this unless you guys tell us to.
Yeah?
Yes. What?
Zenta said a parasol is also good for keeping cooler on hot days, but it's like a cold day outside. So I think this is just an aesthetic choice. I think they were just like, oh, that would look pretty. Magdalena sighed as she surveyed her garden, or what remained of it. She was wearing a wide-brimmed hat, presumably to shield her head from the sun rays, but there was so little sunlight, this might have been an unnecessary precaution. Right, because, like, why do you have the umbrella if she actually does need to shield herself from the sun? Can somebody make this make sense? Micah, meanwhile,
It
okay,
doesn't
maybe
even
they
look
explain
that
it.
sunny, though.
To protect her pale skin. Yes, it literally was that. Micah, meanwhile, gripped a parasol betwixt her gloved fingers. Magdalena had offered it to her before they left to protect her pale skin. Though this, too, had been a wholly unnecessary gesture. I'm starting to wonder whether this might have been a fool's errand. I'm starting to wonder whether... Wait, hold up. I'm starting to wonder whether this might have been a fool's errand. There's not a single scenic spot in my home. I don't know if it would be improved by a little sunlight. I have no stomach for it, but it would at least be less cold. Now that was an interesting idea.
Do vampires feel cold?
I don't know, but I can tell it must be chilly. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be shaking so much. Are you alright?
I'm fine. I'll live.
For the present, at least, for however long that Magdalena allowed it. I'm glad to hear that. Do tell me, though, if you feel a chill settling in. I wouldn't want you to catch a cold. We can go back inside as soon as the novelty of the great outdoors has worn off. Or, alternatively, as soon as you feel your fingers might freeze.
I will keep that in mind, thank you. My gloves should protect me well enough, though, and I don't think I'm in the mood to go back in just yet.
Are you too busy enjoying the view?
Yes. I don't know if the I don't know if the view is I don't know if the view is all that enjoyable, but there's a lot of it.
Ah, yes. If there's one thing this grand pile doesn't want for, it's space. In fact, I think there's a trifle too much of it. The garden has been left to seed over the years, but can you blame me? There's only one of me, and I want to know where to begin, taming all of this. Magdalena gestured to the garden, which sprawled about her in a wild, unruly mess. All overgrown grass, decaying trees, and wild flowers which swayed in the breeze. There was a fountain not so far away, which had once been topped with a stone effigy of Cupid. Cupid had since fallen off his perch, however, and he lay in pieces in the basin of the fountain, his shattered head spotted all over with lichen. The fountain itself, meanwhile, had stopped working many years prior. Its cracked basin was full of naught save loose leaves, dirt, and bits and pieces of poor Cupid's broken body. Past the fountain was a tangle of rose bushes, which had been left to run riot over the decades. Over the decades? What accent was that? Over the decades. Perhaps they had looked pretty once, when there was gardeners to trim them into regulation, but now they were quite riled. The bushes were more thorns. What is this accent that keeps going? The bushes were more thorns than roses, though there were few roses that existed. I don't even.
That was pretty good, actually.
The bushes were more thorns than roses, though the few roses that existed were impressively red, scant splotches of color against the otherwise gray landscape. The sky above the meandering pair, meanwhile, was festooned with clouds. It looked as though it might soon rain, and the air which snaked through Magdalena's garden was chilly. The sun was scarcely visible, though Magdalena still shied away from it. Though there was precious little sunlight to be had, Micah was still curious. Was it really safe for Magdalena to wander about like this?
Do you often wander around in your gardens like this?
With my captives, you mean, or are you referring to the time of day?
Both, I suppose.
Well, let me see. To the first, I would say no. I am not in the business of consorting with my captives beyond what is strictly necessary. It would not do to get attached. Not that there has ever been much danger of that. You are the first lady I've had the pleasure of spending time with. Perhaps that's why I've come over all sentimental. Magdalena shook her head as though bemused by her own antics. The breeze caught in her fair tresses as she did so her lovely hair fluttered about her shoulders. As for the second, no, I am not in the habit of pacing about during the daylight hours. I'm not particularly fond of the sun, an opinion which is shared amongst the rest of my kind. I find it quite unpleasant, in fact. If it were any brighter today than it is, I would have not ventured outside at all. I could just about bear for the present, but the summer is perfectly vile. Magdalena pulled a face. She looked so very incensed, she induced Micah to laugh. Laugh.
So... What was that? So, you usually spend the days indoors? Why does my voice keep cracking? I swear to God. Wait,
No, I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice your voice crack.
So, you usually spend the day indoors?
Indoors and asleep, yes. I'm being quite naughty, really, consorting with you like this. It's long past my bedtime.
I did think it unusual that you came to my room this morning. Haven't you been able to sleep?
I tried, but I was unsuccessful. Sleep seemed like a fool's errand, so I decided I might as well spend my time with you. Your company is more agreeable than being on my own, and when I have nothing to distract me save my thoughts. And... oh,
And what thoughts, may I ask, have you been ruminating on?
you may ask, but I might not answer. You're being awfully nosy for a lady, Micah. Did your mother never tell you to keep your nose out of other people's affairs?
She might have... She might have mentioned it before, once or twice.
And you would do well to listen to her. We all have our secrets. Why, next you may be asking me about my marriage prospects.
Do you have any marriage prospects?
Not anymore. Not that I'm aware of, at least. I was never much of a prize even when I was alive, but now that ship has well and truly left the harbor. Magdalena's smile remained light, much like her pattering banter, but Micah thought it appeared somewhat strained. Now she was examining Magdalena in the morning light. Not that the morning was particularly bright. She could see how weary she looked. Magdalena's skin had been pale when Micah first met her, but now it seemed not entirely dissimilar to fallen snow. Magdalena was white enough to seem sickly, but under her eyes were dark and smudgy by contrast, as though they had been bruised. Was that from her own guilty conscience, or else a lack of sleep? Maybe, Micah thought, the two were intrinsically linked. It was too much of a coincidence, surely, that Magdalena had lost sleep following the last night's events. Let us talk no more of the subject of my love life. It's too depressing to countenance, and deader, I fear, than the bandits I slew. What do you think of these new roses? Why did I not process that? I'm the narrator. Magdalena paused by the untamable tumble of rose bushes was spewed behind by the fountain of Cupid. The leaves worm-eaten, but the roses themselves vast and untouched, like the red-lipped mouths of so many monsters. They're quite something, don't you think? They add a bit of color to the place, at least. I think they might be the pride and joy of my little garden.
They are certainly very vivid, yes.
They are, rather, aren't they? Perhaps I ought to pick a couple of them to commemorate our excursion. They would look lovely in a vase on your desk, or maybe in your hair. At the very least, they might do something to alleviate how desolate my home is. Okay, now all of a sudden, Magdalena's tall. Because why did Magdalena all of a sudden, like, grow in height here? Like, she's not taller than Micah.
Wait, what are those? Wait. There's something going on, because there are bite marks on her hand, on her forearm.
Oh!
That means someone has been feeding on her.
Oh! Huh.
Hello?
Huh. Wow, you really have an eye for that. I would have probably not even noticed that.
I do have an eye.
You do have one, at least.
At least one, yes. And also, Micah looks so cute. Look at her dolly face. Aww.
I know, she's a cutie pie. I'm kind of into Magdalena here, though. I just think like, Micah has a personality, but I guess it's just, like, so stereotypical. Like, it almost feels like it's so stereotypical that it contradicts this idea that she is not traditional, and she never wanted a regular marriage, and she never fit a regular life, because it's sort of portraying her as this very, like, meek and quiet and fragile woman who just doesn't know what to do and has no rebellion in her because she's so scared. But allegedly she has
to use a parasol.
Yeah, and she just needs to protect her skin. And it's like, isn't she supposed to be, like, not fit in. Like she's like the way she describes her childhood and the way her mom used to chastise her and the way she describes this marriage, it seems like she would have a bit more of a backbone and a bit of more rebellion and even a bit more sass, and I wish they gave her that. Yeah, like damn, where's the bite back? Like I feel like this idea of Micah as somebody her mother chastises a lot, who wasn't very into this marriage, who would even prefer to be with a killer than with her husband, her potential husband, would probably be someone who's a little bit sassier. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of the stereotypical bottom of the, oh, she's just submissive and she just follows. Like, that's boring to me, I guess.
It would be really more dynamic and like intriguing too.
Yeah, like I wish they had a bit more dynamicism instead of just, I guess I'm captured. Oh, well. You're so mean.
You're gonna take my blood? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna take me to the garden?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Venom really said I want a brat. I mean, I do have to say I am partial to a brat, but I also just think narratively it would have really helped if she didn't just take it. You know what I mean? Like this is a scary situation, as well as that her maid, her childhood friend, she doesn't know where she is or what's gone on with her, and she's just been thrown into this situation and is grieving, and somehow she's just taking it. You know what I mean? She has the personality of a cracker, honestly. Yeah, she doesn't really seem to have much personality besides just being the bottom.
What is a cracker? Oh, plain cracker? Okay.
Yeah, like bland. They're just saying she's bland. I think it would be more entertaining if there was an escape plan. Yeah, like I see Henny's planning something and trying something, but I think also I'm quite bored with the idea that this is just, oh, she just needs to be saved, and you know, she's actually starting to grow to like her captor, and she just doesn't know what to do. Like I think it would be super interesting if, even if they wanted to make her more just like taking things, like if maybe she had a secret escape plan. You know? Like I don't know.
Basically, we just want some thoughts in her head, because look at her.
Yeah.
She looks like she's.
She looks like she doesn't have
nothing behind those eyes.
There's not a single thought in that pretty head of hers. Not a single thought. And yeah, I don't know. I'm longing for something more. I'm longing for something more. Magdalena leant forward as she spoke, one arm extended. Micah watched as she made to pluck one of the large, heavy-headed roses from among its brethren, but as she did so, Micah noticed something peculiar. Like Henny is saying she used to be a tomboy as a child, and now she's crying because of a small cut. Yeah, it's quite contradictory, isn't it? The ties which fastened Magdalena's sleeves had come undone, and one of them had rolled down all the way to her elbow, exposing a good deal of her fair skin. Maybe her beloved we saw earlier didn't like Micah blood and bit Magdalena instead. Maybe. Her flesh was uniformly white, a sort of smooth paleness it was impossible to replicate with powers. Magdalena truly looked as though she had been made from falling snow, all compressed and compacted together, but it was not Magdalena's pallor which made Magdalena draw in her breath. What truly caught Micah's attention was a band of angry red welts which encircled Magdalena's arm. These marks were so pronounced, particularly against the paleness of Magdalena's skin. They looked like burns, or else. Micah's brow furrowed with newfound concerns. Not for herself, but for Magdalena. She could not countenance how Magdalena had received wounds like these. She had thought Magdalena indomitable, impossible to best in a competition of strength. Surely no human could have left such marks. These marks could have been left by an animal, Micah supposed, but Magdalena had dispatched 4 fully grown men without blinking. Would an animal, even a wolf or a bear, be able to best her? In any event, the wounds did not look as though they had been inflicted by any great hulking creature with a maw full of sharp teeth. They didn't look large enough. Though these marks were small in circumference, they weren't shallow. They were garish even in the weak autumnal sunshine, all puckered, raised welts which had begun to bruise. The rest of Magdalena's skin was pale as death, but these marks almost seemed akin to a tableau of violence. Who in the world would have done such a thing to Magdalena? And why? And how? Micah felt rather bewildered. That's you.
Forgive me if I'm being rude, but I could not help but notice.
Micah swallowed, tasting the cool breeze on her breath. She remembered Magdalena's earlier caution, even though she had spoken it in jest. You're being awfully nosy for a lady, Micah. Didn't your mother ever tell you to keep your nose out of other people's affairs? But still, she wanted to know. It seemed important all of a sudden that she get to the bottom of this. There was something significant about the injuries Magdalena had sustained. Micah knew it.
What are those marks on your arm?
What? Oh. Magdalena drew back from the roses as though burned by them. Then she glanced down at her arm. When Magdalena saw that her sleeve had rolled back, her expression twisted. She didn't blush. Again, Micah did not think her capable of it, but roughly tugged her sleeve back down. Her expression was one of supercilious guilt, that of a naughty child caught out by her governess. It's nothing really. Please, don't dwell upon it.
How could that be nothing? It looks painful.
It's fine. I'm a strong girl, and I can look after myself. You, on the other hand, mightn't be so fortunate. You ought to worry more about your own affairs.
But
Now, there will be no buts. This conversation is beginning to tire me. It's not very interesting. Let us be on our way. There's more of my garden to see, after all. Micah, seeing it would be impossible to talk Magdalena around, capitulated. Sighing, she looked at Magdalena and said,
fine. Let's do that then.
That we shall. I've much more to show you. Do try to keep the pace with me, my dear Micah, or I shall leave you behind. Then you might never find your way back to my home. Would you care to take my arm to be on the safe side?
That is very gallant of you. I'm sure, but I think I'll be fine.
So you mean to spread my affections? Oh, my lady, how you wound me. Magdalena's theatrics might have once brought a smile to Micah's lips, but she felt too preoccupied with Magdalena's injuries to attempt anything approaching merriment. Micah had seen those marks only for a few seconds, but they now felt imprinted upon her brain. That was not a sight she would forget in a hurry. Such wounds couldn't be dismissed as a mere trifle, no matter how Magdalena had tried to change the subject. Her hastiness to hide the marks had been concerning, as was her caginess. Magdalena was definitely hiding something from Micah, but to what end? Micah could not even begin to guess. Oh, we got another hydrate. Are you guys trying to make me piss?
I too also have to piss.
I don't have to piss yet, actually. But if you need to go pee, you can go get a break, and I think I'm gonna get some water, actually. Alright, it says stretch too. Let's stretch our legs a little bit. Alright, 1 second.
I'll be right back. I'll stretch and I'll pee. I'll pee while stretching. Okay? Okay.
You know what? I think I am gonna pee. Just in case, so then I don't have to suddenly pee later. I'm gonna turn my mic off this time.
Alright, I peed. Hello? Cat, where did they go? Hello? Guys, type something in chat if you can even hear me. This is so weird. I'm all alone.
Alright, that bead. Let me put my headphones back on.
Yellow.
We gotta hear the stream while you mute. No, I'm not trying to flash you guys with my piss again.
Did you mute? I was like talking a little. I was confused. Like,
Oh yeah, I did mute because last time I peed on stream I didn't mute and I thought they wouldn't be able to hear it and they heard everything because my bathroom is close to my office.
You peeing?
Yeah, and they're up here complaining that I muted. They're up here complaining like, why did you mute?
No way, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
Boy, were you just frying chicken in there? For real though. You piss loud as fuck. I think that's pretty cool.
Thanks,
I have
Lush.
that like meme ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. That seems up your alley as a meme to have ingrained.
Not because
it seems exactly.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. You better be.
All right. We're both back. We're good. Did you get some water?
Yeah.
Or you still have some water?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks for taking care of us, guys. This is helpful. I'm glad now that I actually have the redeems up so I can see when you guys redeem them. Remember, is anyone hearing Venom twice? Okay. No, Senna. Oh, you might have me up on 2 windows then, Monty, if no one else sees you.
My cheeks right now?
Me. Thank you, Fonessa, for the applause. Yeah, Money, I think you have me up on 2 different tabs accidentally or something like that. Or just refresh your tab, maybe? I don't know, sometimes. Oh, again.
Yo, stop clapping my cheeks, dude. No.
Sorry.
What the hell?
Again? You guys are just applauding a lot. You guys are really happy right now, huh? I'm on my phone. Refresh the tab. Refresh the tab, Money. See if that works. Finally caught a stream. What up? What up? How do I say your name out loud? Da-Hai-Tu? Da-Hai-Tu? Oh, fuck. There we go. How do I say your name out loud? Welcome on in. Nice to see you. We're just playing some... You actually came right after the piss break. Your timing is impeccable. We like seeing y'all do healthy stuff. W. Yay! Yippee! Wait, I did. Yeah, I had a feeling.
Dorking is really healthy. Next stream.
Barking, did you say?
Dorking.
Jorking?
Yeah, jorking.
Next stream, do you... do you...
I said what I said, okay, guys?
Alright. Yeah, sure. Next stream. Magdalena and Micah continue to promenade about Magdalena's expensive gardens, neither speaking more than seems strictly necessary. Magdalena would pause at irregular intervals so as to point out various interesting features to her companion, but otherwise she remained silent, holding one hand to her head to prevent the wind from blowing her hat away. Eventually, however, Magdalena seemed to tire of her aimless wandering. Oh, it's raining now. The sky had continued to grow darker as the minutes passed, and soon it began to rain. A faint patina
let's
of
get wet,
moisture.
everyone.
Lesh a little freaky today. What's going on with you, Lesh? You feeling freaky today, huh?
I'm silly sometimes.
A faint patina of moisture which fell from the gray clouds from above. Wishing to take shelter before a storm could begin in earnest, Magdalena paused a bench, partially overgrown by tall grass, and took a seat. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're doing good. Somebody said the stream restarted. What's up, YouTube? Hi, Bone Shaker. Sorry, I didn't say hi to people in a while. I have it members only on YouTube. I decided to just not make moderators moderate YouTube. Did I read this already? Wishing to take shelter before a storm could begin in earnest, Magdalena paused by a bench, partially overgrown by tall grass, and took a seat. Oh my god! I'm screenshotting this for the next thumbnail. Hold up, I have to screenshot this for the next thumbnail. Paste. And then there's crop. Oh, they're so cute! What little kitty pies.
Do you save your screenshots on Paint?
Is there another way to do it?
Yes, and I will tell you after stream.
Okay, thank you. Micah sat at Magdalena's insistence, her parasol unfurled to protect the both of them from the continued rain, and looked at her companion with some concern. Bless you. Can we have Cece back? She's in the other room right now taking a nap. Magdalena had seemed animated enough when they had been wandering about her sprawling garden, but now her energy had deserted her. Her head drooped, her hat falling from it, while her silvery hair spilled over her shoulders like moonbeams. Then she yawned. A yawn so deep it brought tears to her eyes. The rain continued to fall about them, a steady pitter-patter, while Magdalena wiped her eye with the back of her arm. Oh, goodness me. Magdalena glanced at Micah, abashed but unblushing, her skin the color of alabaster. Yeah, we get it. She has no blood. She can't blush. We get it.
Bro, I swear they mention this like every 5 minutes.
So pale. I apologize. That was quite rude of me. I must have been so I must seem so churlish, inviting you out on a stroll like this, only to yawn in your face. If I were a gentleman, I fear I would have little luck with a lady as fair as you. Why, you would have every right to call me a bore.
If you were a gentleman, I wouldn't be going for a walk with you unchaperoned in the first place. It would be scandalous.
Yes, well, I suppose you aren't wrong on that account. That makes me feel fortunate, at least, to be a woman. Magdalena giggled, but it's probably more like the genuine giggle I just did. Probably more like the genuine giggle I just did after that. But soon it cleaved before another yawn. I'm sorry. I wouldn't blame you, Micah, if you wished to slap me for being so impertinent. I'm not bored of your presence. I could never be bored of you, but, well, I'm so very tired.
It's alright. I wouldn't slap you on account of something so small. It's irrelevant.
But I can't be the most stimulating company, surely, when I can scarcely string 2 words together.
For a woman on the verge of collapse, you've been doing an awfully good job at stringing words together. I would hardly know you were tired, were it not to be the bags beneath your eyes, and for the way you've been yawning, of course.
Oh, of course. Magdalena let her hand fall to her lap, and there it rested. Sighing, she shifted closer to Micah, then, I apologize, but would you find it horribly presumptuous if I asked to rest my head upon your shoulder for a few minutes? It is very quiet and peaceful out here, you see, among Mother Nature's embrace, and I've been dying to get away from my home for the last week. It's so stifling in there, I cannot bring myself to relax. Now that I'm with you, however, I think I might be able to get some decent sleep. Or at least, a brief nap.
You mean to use me as a pillow?
If you would be so kind. Don't feel like you must indulge me, though. I would not wish to inconvenience you. I worry the weight of my oafish head might not be the most comfortable burden to bear.
Oh no. You can use me as a pillow if you wish. I don't mind.
As far as impositions went, it was not so very great. Not compared to those Magdalena had inflicted upon Micah already.
You may do with me whatever you will.
Where did that come from? Wait, then that literally contradicts. It's hot, yes, but it contradicts everything we've been talking about. Because wasn't she just throwing a fit about the fucking pricking her arm and taking her blood? But now she's like, you may do with me whatever you will. Come on. Come on, let's have some consistency, please. Now that is a very tempting offer.
Sorry. I don't know how I did it, bro.
Now that is a very tempting offer. But fortunately for you, I'm too tired to fully indulge in all the delights you might have to offer. For the present, I can think of nothing but sleep. Thanks for the follow.
Lesbo7 has joined the
God.
Legion.
Thanks for the follow, Lesbo7.
Yeah, Lesbo7.
Oh, there's your line.
Don't sleep. I will watch over you.
Like a guardian angel?
Like a guardian angel.
Yes. If you'd like.
Oh, how sweet you are. This feels more dramatic, but this specific part does feel like genuine conversations we have sometimes. I'm just like, oh, you're an angel, Lush. You're such an angel. You're so sweet.
Oh.
Magdalena sighed, then shifted. She let her shoulder press against Micah's, her head resting against her. Her pale cheek pressed against the fabric of Micah's dress, and her eyelashes fell shut. You really must be an angel to care for me so much. I deserve far more than a slap after all I've done to you, but...
Shh. Is it picking up?
Yeah, it did pick up.
Shh.
Micah ran her fingers through Magdalena's hair, her knuckles grazing against her companion's scalp. Okay, this is a really cute scene with them, though. Some consistency is missing, but this is very, very cute.
Let's not talk about that now. You're tired. Also, is that Jesus on her necklace?
Yeah, I guess it is. It's like a proper cross, like with Jesus and everything. Wouldn't that contradict the whole crosses burn vampires? Also, isn't it silver? I guess for the context of this, it's a myth. Yeah, probably like a myth. But I've done so many wicked things to you, Micah. I don't know how you can bear to speak to me. How can you stand to touch me? I've done nothing to earn your kindness, and everything to earn your scorn.
Maybe so. But I'm not going to scold you for that now. Not when you're in such a state.
And what kind of state would this be? Pray tell.
One which is hardly suited for continued conversation. It isn't very becoming for a lady. Please, rest. Is that not what you wanted?
Yes, I suppose it is. I've wanted to rest for... such a long time.
For the last week, you said?
It has been particularly bad this week, but I've been tired for longer than that. Longer than weeks, or months, or years. I can't say how long I've missed this sort of warmth. I've been alone more than a century. It was almost more than I could bear. Until, I suppose, I met you. Your company has been most diverting. If you were to leave, I hardly know what I would do.
Well, you've nothing to worry about. You've nothing to worry about on that front. I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, I know you're not. You can't. I won't let you.
Anna.
Micah spoke softly, a nickname slipping from her lips despite herself. Yet it seemed unlikely Magdalena had even heard it. Her eyelids were shut, her chest rising and falling, and save for the regular exhalations of her breath, she made no sound. She had fallen fast asleep. Magdalena slept upon Micah's shoulders undisturbed, heedless of the cool breeze which caressed her cheeks and the rain which continued to fall. Her pale skin remained cold and unyielding during her slumber, and her cheeks refused to pinken at the wind's behest. All the while, as she slept, Micah watched her, her fingers curled about the handle of her parasol. As they sat there, their bodies pressed close, Micah found herself wishing they could stay as they were. Time slowing, then stopping, for good. Time did not stop, however, and Magdalena eventually awoke after half an hour hence. She did not speak of what happened after drawing away from Micah, but she did suggest, after stretching, that they return to her home. The delights of her garden had been exhausted, and it was still raining. Magdalena had not wanted to remain outdoors when the weather was so foul. Micah had no words of complaint to offer, so she and Magdalena rose. Magdalena put her hat upon her head anew, and the two again entered her vast, dilapidated home. Here we are. Home sweet home.
Thanks for the follow.
Marsha VT has joined the Legion.
Oh, hi, Marsh VT. Thank you. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow.
Hello.
This is Lush.
What the hell is that?
Oh!
Ow, that was so gross.
Magdalena announced this to the cavernous room full of decades' worth of undisturbed dust, then wrinkled her nose. That's what I would like to call it, at least, but that really isn't much to look at. I'm always stuck when I see this place in the sun's light. But just how run down this place is. It's a wonder I haven't contracted a cough having lived here so long. I suppose we vampires are a hardy sort, though I do worry about you. The dust isn't irritating your eyes, is it?
I'll be fine.
Micah reassured Magdalena, though, in all honesty, her eyes were beginning to water. The air smelled foetid, and each inhalation made her nostrils, not to mention the back of her throat, tingle. She could taste the dust upon her tongue, so thick it turned her stomach. She had almost begun to acquaint herself with the general decay of Magdalena's home, having lived among it for so long, but the few hours she had spent outdoors had undone all her familiarity with her surroundings. And the slow burn burned slowly, yes. Magdalena's abode felt strange and inhospitable once more, in part, Micah supposed, because it was. Humans weren't supposed to live like this, in unloved homes, choked with old age and their own neglect. Ooh, my tongue's starting to twist. But Magdalena wasn't a human. Human needs did not apply to her. Not when her own desires were so very unusual. Micah had learned during her walk that Magdalena did not need to sleep, however, a fact which made her seem... Oh, wait. Did need to sleep. Let me restart that. Micah had learned during her walk that Magdalena did need to sleep, however, a fact which made her seem more personable. In some ways, she might have been so very dissimilar to a human after all.
So, are you feeling alright? Your face is very pale.
My face is always pale. It comes with the territory. I've no blood of my own, you know. Not like you. I couldn't work up a hearty blush even if I tried.
I know that much. But your under eyes are very dark.
Oh, point out all my perfections, why don't you? You have a way of making a girl feel rather exposed, Micah. I'm almost embarrassed.
I didn't mean to embarrass you. I was only...
Concerned? I know. You really are too nice for your own good. I doubt many other women would care for the welfare of their captors half so much. But you are not, as I've since gathered, a typical woman. That you would risk your own life for your maids is remarkable in and of itself.
I'm not so special, really.
I wish she had more to say about why she's not typical. Not just, well, you risked your life for your maid 2 weeks ago. I feel like at this point in the relationship, there should be more. That she's like, and you do this, and you do that, and you do this. I disagree.
There's a highlighted message.
I think the scream that Henny heard when you started the novel was one of the men who Lena captured and she gave to her beloved. Maybe so. Maybe so. I've lived for a very long time, and I don't believe I've met anybody quite like you before. A bottom, Magdalena? Is that, you've never met a bottom before?
Okay, what's so, special about her? What's so remarkable? She's just a girl.
Not that I've been in the habit of receiving... Alright, that's... Not that I've been in the habit of receiving guests during the last century, I suppose. I doubt my compliments are worth all that much, given the limited time frame of reference. You may disregard them, if you like, but I mean what I say. I don't tell lies. Why then, Micah longed to ask, did you not tell me about those marks on your arm? Why did you say it was nothing when it was clearly something? What are you hiding? Micah stared at Magdalena, but found no immediate answers to her queries. Why is that noid called pufferfish? Because it's a pufferfish. Have you guys not ever seen that video? It's literally a pufferfish. I think it's a pufferfish stressed out, actually. I think it's in the air, and it makes that noise.
I don't think the pufferfish made that noise. It's like a human noise.
Oh, you think it's like a goofy thing?
Yeah, it's just put over the video of a pufferfish spitting out this carrot or something.
I thought it was really the pufferfish this whole time, but maybe. Who knows?
I don't think fishes can make that sound, Venom.
I think okay, you know what? We're gonna figure it out now, actually. Since it's up. Pufferfish noise. Wait, hold up. There was a video there I want to see later. Pufferfish. Oh, wrong video. Oh
my god.
Pufferfish deflating sound. I don't hear anything. Oh, okay, that's a sound effect.
Sounds like a queef.
That's a...
What the hell?
That's the fish.
What?
That's the fish.
What?
That's the fish.
What? No freaking
That's the
way.
fish.
No freaking way, dude.
It really likes that fucking carrot. It really likes that carrot.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That fish really liked that damn carrot. Anyway, back to the story.
Yeah, let's move on, guys.
It seemed that Magdalena's wounds would remain a mystery. Would Magdalena ever trust her enough to be fully honest, or would Micah succumb to blood loss before that happened? That was an unpleasant thought. It was in a dour mood that Micah had crossed the entrance hall, her footsteps echoing, and ascended the stairs. All of a sudden she, too, felt awfully exhausted. Micah took the stairs slowly, Magdalena close by, and she looked at the patterns on the stairs, and she looked at the marble, and she noticed the scent of the wood, and she noticed all the details and all the dust in every little crevice. She looked in this crevice and that crevice, and there was dust everywhere, and she also contemplated the state of the moment, and she decided to look out the window, and she noticed the patterns of marble on the window, and the grand staircase had so many steps, an unnecessary number, or so it seemed to Micah. It was no small difficulty navigating that. It's funny how when you actually read it, it's not that different than what I just said. Micah continued on, determined, placing one foot after another, but she felt unsteady. Magdalena, sensing Micah's exhaustion, surveyed her with some concern. "And you asked whether I was all right. You seem positively dead on your feet. Are you sure you would not care for my assistance now, my lady?"
I'll be fine.
Micah said vaguely as Magdalena proffered her arm, but this time Magdalena refused to take no for an answer. "Oh, don't give me that. I won't have you slipping and tumbling to the ground, not down a staircase like this. Why, you could break your neck."
It would be a quick way to go, if nothing else.
Let's not be so macabre about it, Micah. It doesn't suit you.
Would you rather I smile?
That was always what Micah's mother had demanded of her. That might be asking too much, I fear, but I would rather see you all in one piece, yes.
For a vampire, you're awfully considerate.
I've got to take good care of my guests, haven't I?
Or your prey?
These two states are not mutually exclusive. Magdalena spoke lightly, but Micah thought she could see a flicker of hurt passing across Magdalena's face. Alright, so we're just gonna be angsty and sad about it. We're not gonna get a prey-predator little plot line where it's hot. They're both sad about the fact that they're prey and predator. Whatever.
No.
Her remark must have nettled her. There. Magdalena looped her arm through Micah's, cinching their bodies together like two entwined flower stems.
Thanks for the follow.
K-Pod Distraye Sophia has joined the Legion.
Oh, thanks for the follow, Sophia. Now you're less likely to take a spill as we ascend the stairs. And if I do, I would drag you down out. Oh, sorry, that's not my line.
Oh. And if I do, I would drag you down after me.
Plotting my demise, are you? I admire your brazenness, but it will take more than that to best me. And what of the creature that bit you? Micah wished to ask. Did that best you? Micah did not ask, however. She feared further inquiry would only upset Magdalena, and she did not want to do that. Magdalena might have been Micah's enemy, but she was also, paradoxically, her only ally. Micah had wanted to believe, still wanted to believe, in fact, that Magdalena cared for her. But her caring seemed a fleeting sort of thing, something which could be discarded when she required more blood, which she would. Micah turned these thoughts over in her head while slowly ascending the stairs, her arm entwined with Magdalena's.
Oh.
But a sound soon startled her from her morose reverie, a sound she could recall hearing once before, when Magdalena escorted her through the entrance hall to her new lodgings. It was the sound, though faint, of a scream.
Thanks for the follow.
K-Pod Distraye Sophia has joined the Legion.
Why did I go off twice? Micah's back stiffened. Her body tensed against Magdalena's, and rather than push the other woman away, she held closer still. With wide, alert eyes, Micah glanced around. Magdalena had attributed these noises to the wind when Micah had first heard them, but now Micah knew, had always known in fact, this was a lie. The wind could not make noises such as this, and in any event, though it was a cold day, it was not blustery enough to procure such sounds. They must have emitted from a person's throat. Though what horrors this person must have endured to scream like that remained a mystery.
Magdalena?
Micah looked at Magdalena anxiously, her eyes wide with curious fear.
What is that sound?
Magdalena, for her part, looked almost as fearful as Micah was. There was no surprise present upon her countenance, but Micah could see that she was gritting her teeth. Had Magdalena any blood in her body, it surely would have abandoned her upon hearing those
Thanks
screams.
for the follow.
K-Pod Distraye Sophia has joined the Legion.
Alright, I'm gonna turn
What the
alerts
hell?
off. Okay, alerts are off for now. That sound is...
Don't say it's nothing. It's not nothing. I just heard it. Again. Whoever is making those sounds must be in a lot of pain. Or else, they must be very distressed.
And whoever said that it is a person making those sounds?
It must be. I can't think of what else would scream so fitfully, and no, I don't believe that it's the wind. Do you have more prisoners locked away in this castle that you're not telling me about?
Believe me, Micah. You'd be far happier believing it was the wind. No goodwill comes from prying into these affairs.
But I want to know.
I know you want to know. That is the problem with you. You want to know everything. Well, I'm sorry,
Well,
but...
Oh. My bad.
Well, I'm sorry, but I must keep some of my own secrets. I've been alive for over a century, and I've had ample amount of time to accrue them. I doubt I am alone in this. I'm sure you have some subjects you do not wish to speak of either. 1 second. There's just something on my lip. I need to take off my lip that's bothering me.
Also, I think I hear my voice double. Like, I feel like there's echo.
Oh, are you guys hearing a doubling in Lush's voice? I'm back from chat from dinner. How are we? Oh, what'd you have for dinner? Maybe you accidentally have 2 tabs up? Chat, do you guys hear echo with Lush or like a doubling of the voice for Lush? Or me?
No, it's just me.
Nah, Lush sounds fine. Nah, I don't hear it.
Alright,
Okay, so you must
okay.
accidentally have like 2 tabs open. If you refresh your tab, it might help.
Alright.
Magdalena's red-eyed gaze held Micah's, her irises hard and unflinching. Micah thought, as Magdalena stared, of Walter Gerhardt, and their engagement, and her feelings, or lack of, toward him, and she winced. Magdalena was right. She had plenty of secrets she didn't want to discuss either. There was an indifference in the severity of their secrets, though. There was a difference in the severity of their secrets, however. Walter was not, as far as Micah knew, currently incarcerated within walls of his castle and screaming.
If I am to live in this castle, I ought to know who else is residing beneath its roof. Roof.
Are you barking now?
No.
Click! No, you really oughtn't. It's better this way. You are so lucky because I can't even find my clicker right now. No, you really oughtn't. It's better this way.
But... What?
Micah, please. This is my cross to bear, not yours. You've no need to worry about it. Appeasing the mistress is my job. The mistress? I see Micah had the same question.
The mistress?
Micah repeated this phrase, seemingly innocuous at first blush, yet containing within it a wealth of unspoken secrets. So there was somebody else residing in Magdalena's abode after all. Somebody Magdalena referred to as her mistress. That must mean that this mysterious person, this mysterious woman, held some degree of authority over Magdalena. What, though, could be more powerful than a vampire? Who was this mistress, and why had Micah never met her? Why was she screaming so, as though she was being tortured?
What is going on, Magdalena?
That is not such a complex question, at least. Magdalena smiled, but it was an ill-fitting smile which hung awkwardly on her lips, like a dress which had been taken in at the waist 2 inches too many. She must be hungry. She's awfully insistent like that. I was hoping to put this off, but it seems I will have to take more of your blood tonight after all. I had wanted to give you a brief reprieve from your duties, but it is not to be. I have duties of my own to attend to, after all, and my mistress can be very extracting indeed. Micah sat upon the edge of her bed later that night, one arm extended at Magdalena's behest. It was the same arm she extended to Magdalena the night prior, split with a thin scar, like a garish piece of twine. Magdalena's fingers curled about the underside of Micah's arm to better hold it steady. In her free hand, the one which was not occupied with Micah, Magdalena held a knife, the blade sharp and silvery in the weak, wispy moonlight which spilled through Micah's drawn curtains. Just hold still now. There's a good girl. I'll take not more blood than is needed, I can promise you that much. This will all be over in an instant. Micah knew Magdalena meant well, but part of her wished that her captor's fingers would slip and she would nick a major artery, which would douse her skirts and her sheets bright red. Magdalena's were well practiced, however, just as they had been the night before. Her gloved fingers did not wobble, though her resolve might have, and she introduced the blade to the inside of Micah's arm. Micah shivered to feel the cold steel pressed against her flesh. Magdalena had not cut, not yet at least, but she could feel the edge of the blade and knew of the pain it promised. She had endured that pain once before already. Had that not been enough? The anticipation was unnerving. Micah began to shiver.
If you're going to do it, then can you please hurry? I cannot stand the waiting.
My apologies. I had hoped to prepare you for it. But I suppose pain is not something one can really prepare for, not even if they have fair warning. I've seen hardier men than you cry at my heels, though I never cared to be half so gentle with them. I don't much want to do this myself, but... well, never mind that. I will cut now. Hold your breath, and maybe close your eyes, if you must. It might help. Micah began, yet was unable to finish. Magdalena, true to her word, had moved her hand, the blade, once inert, now slicing into Micah's flesh. Magdalena scored the blade across the inside of Micah's arm, an inch beneath her previous incision. Pain flared up inside Micah in an instant, hot like all the flames of hell. Why does this knife hurt so particularly bad? Is there something special about this knife? Fortunately for Micah, however, the incision was made quickly and cleanly. The blade retracted before Micah had a chance to truly register what had occurred. A bowl was soon placed beneath Micah's cut, into which Micah bled. rivulets of crimson trickling down on her pale skin and into the basin beneath. Micah did not look at her cut. She could not bear to, but she could feel her life's blood oozing from her. It was incredible just how much the human body could bleed. The last cut Magdalena had inflicted had been thinner than a paper cut, yet it had bled profusely. Micah wondered whether this little drop sound effect every slide is silly. Micah wondered whether this blood was meant for Magdalena or whether she meant to give it to her mistress, the one who had cried earlier, who had been hungry. That must have been where Micah's blood had gone last night. Micah had thought it odd Magdalena had not partaken of her blood in a more direct manner. What was the point in possessing such sharp incisors if one did not use them? By this point, Micah felt as though she had bled for an indeterminate amount of time. Her thoughts were beginning to slow, to become muddled. Her arms stung and she felt sick. She did not want to look at the sleek crimson which daubed her skin, nor Magdalena's pale, pinched face. She was afraid Magdalena would look just as upset, if not more so, than she did herself, and Micah couldn't bear that. She did not want to pity Micah now, not when she felt so enervated. I think that should be enough. Micah heard a soft thud as the offertory bowl was set aside. Then she felt something soft and wet dab the inside of her arm, against her cut which still continued to bleed. Magdalena must have been wiping her cut clean with a kerchief. Finally, Magdalena chanced to crack her eyes open. Her eyelashes fluttered as she surveyed Magdalena, the world, once blurry, now sliding into focus, like a dial turned on a telescope. I'm sorry to do this to you, Micah. Not that my apologies mean very much, I suppose. It's not like anything I could say now could erase all I have done. With Micah's blood having been collected, Magdalena soon took her leave. She took the bowl against her side, her slender fingers curled about it, then exited Micah's chamber, closing the door behind her with a thud. There was a familiar click of a lock, which seemed to echo inside Micah's skull. Then silence. Micah was, once more, quite alone. Left weary after the day's events, and the inside of her arm still stinging, Micah lay down upon her bed and looked to the ceiling. A yawn forced its way from her parted lips, and her eyelids began to droop. Before she allowed sleep to claim her, however, she felt her thoughts turning to Magdalena. She thought of the dark bruises beneath her eyes, from a lack of sleep, or so she had said, and the sickly pale pallor of her skin, white as leprosy. She thought of the violent red marks which ringed her wrist, which she had hurried to hide. She thought of the screaming she had heard while tearing in the entrance hall, and of the way Magdalena had flinched to hear it, and her reassurances, feeble as though they were, that those screams were not for Micah to trouble herself over. Appeasing the mistress is supposed to be my job. Who was this mysterious mistress of whom Magdalena spoke? Micah knew not, but she must have been somebody with leverage over Magdalena, powerful enough that even a vampire would grovel before them. Magdalena turned over in her bed, the wooden bed frames creaking in protest, and trembled. At least now she could say for certain that she and Magdalena were not alone in this castle. There was another person sequestered away in one of the many rooms Micah had never before been in, Magdalena's mysterious mistress. It was somewhat satisfying to have her earlier suspicions proved right, but Micah did not feel any more at ease now than she had upon waking that morning. If anything, it was the exact opposite. How awful must Magdalena's mistress be, if even Magdalena was afraid of her? Micah hardly dared to imagine it. If she allowed her imagination to run riot, as the roses in Magdalena's garden did, she feared she would not be able to sleep ever again. Oh, we finally finished the second act. So we're in act 3. How many acts are there?
The world in monochrome.
All right, I'm gonna save here. Yes. How many acts are there? Does it say anywhere, I wonder? Maybe I'll look at the achievements.
Wait, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
All good. Read the second act, read the third act. Read the fourth act. So it seems there's 4 acts. God, this is taking a long time. Ugh. Stretch time. All right. I'll stretch. Stretch. Oh. Okay. Oh. Why are there 2 of us? There we go. All right, when Lesh comes back, we'll do a little just chatting, but I think we're gonna wrap up there for now. Because God, hi, I think we're gonna wrap up there for now. We're already at about 3 hours streaming. Thanks for joining us, chat.
Yes.
Hope you're enjoying the story. I guess we're on the 3rd act, and apparently there's like 4. There's 4 acts.
There is 4?
Yeah, so we're halfway. So we are halfway through now.
Halfway, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, chat. If you're on Twitch, stay for a little bit. Let's see if we can find anybody cool to stream. I mean,
Hang on a second. Venom, can you, like, shut up? Because somebody really likes me.
Xander gifted 10 subscriptions.
Oh my god!
Oh shit, bitch, they running a train. Is this gonna get me banned?
Oh my god, my notifications for that are so fucking silly.
Believe, bro.
Oh
That
my
was so
god.
cool. You got really nice sound effects.
Thanks. I had made those. I made for the alerts. I made all the sound effects. So. Oh shit, bitch! They're running a train. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted, Zenta. Oh, we didn't have anything to do for subs today. What should we do, chat? What should we do? What's something that both... Lush, would you like to join me in this, or should I just do it?
Join you in what?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna ask them what they want me to do, and then I guess you'll have the option to join.
Sure.
What's up, Red? Hi, Red. How are you, Red? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted.
Oh, you
Lush
mean like
barks? Question mark?
gift.
Something wants to hear us bark, I guess. I can just bark though.
You know
You're not
what?
required to. No, actually, you know what? You're in a position right now. We can talk about this later if you
No.
want to join me for something like barking. So then we could talk about it beforehand and have your consent beforehand and not in the moment and not in the moment. So I'm just gonna bark, and then
Actually,
next time.
I'm down with it. I'm down
But
for it, actually.
I feel like it might be a bit healthier if we discuss it beforehand rather than you being under pressure in the moment, right? So we'll talk about it and we'll see when you're not in the moment if you still feel okay doing that.
You guys see this? Venom is so considerate of me.
I just you know, I care about you a lot. So I'm gonna bark and I guess you're gonna enjoy it. All right, 10 barks. Oh god. All right. Roof. Roof. I hate doing this in front of Lush so bad. Roof.
Repeat, guys.
All right, that was
What the
10.
hell?
That was 10.
Why are you good at it, bro?
Thank you so much for the 10 gifted, Zenta. And then next time we'll see what Lush is comfortable with. Put your whole chest into those barks. I tried. And here's 10 clickers. Why not?
Wow.
You know why Venom is good at it, Lush? I'm good at it because I've had practice because you guys make me bark a lot. Like for the past, I've been a VTuber since March. How many months is that now? That's 5 months. You guys have been making me bark for 5 months. I've had 5 months of practice now.
Hey, Anonymous gifted, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Anonymous Gifter.
Wow.
That's so cute. Wow, Dollar Kid, say thank you to your anonymous wait, how do you say it? What's the thing that kids do when they do Valentine's Day? Secret admirer.
Yeah.
Say thank you to the secret admirer, I guess. Just being loud. All right, your secret benefactor.
I didn't know
yes,
you could do that.
yes.
That's wow.
Yeah, I didn't know you could anonymously gift either. Oh wow, we're ending with level 3 hype train, or level 4. We got to level 4, I think. Oh my god, guys, you guys are on a roll today.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Let me see if I can find anybody for us to raid on this wonderful note we leave off on. Guys, who do you want to raid? Who do you want to raid? Let's see. Who am I following that's live right now, maybe?
Kai Sanat.
I don't think Kai Sanat needs my raid at all. Okay, so
Can you do that? Like, would he even notice?
I think I probably could raid Kai Sanat, but I don't think he would notice at all. Who all? Okay, let's see. Okay, so we got Eggy. Eggy is who we rated last time. Eggy's playing Path of Exile. And then we have, who else is here? We have Ophelia, who is playing Dead by Daylight. And then we have AC Valens, who is another creator in the ASMR field who is doing some news. The news is more PayPal censorship, Texas anime ban, and more. So she's doing a stream on news. Which one are you guys feeling? Where do you guys want me to send you? Where would you like me to send you, chat? In fact, I could even do a little poll, I guess. I'll just do a poll with the subjects. Wait, fuck, I need to look up what the hell that Eggy was doing. Eggy. Path of Exile. Okay, so I'll do a poll for what stream you guys want to watch. New poll. Path of Exile, Dead by Daylight. Latest news from Giantess streamer. From Giantess, I guess. Where should we raid? And then I'll leave that up for a minute. So vote quick. Where should we raid? Where do you guys want me to send you? Okay, we got 1 vote for Dead by Daylight. 2 votes for Dead by Daylight. We're feeling Dead by Daylight. 3 votes for Dead by Daylight. Oh, it looks like you guys want to watch some Dead by Daylight. Hey, speak now, forever hold your peace. Speak now, forever hold your peace if you want to see something different. How are you liking that story, Lush? How are you feeling about it?
I thought the art was really pretty. I find it very pretty.
Yeah,
especially where they were sleeping.
Yeah, that was so cute. The art is gorgeous. The art is really, really gorgeous.
But
man,
this is just my thought though. I wish they dragged out the mysterious thing, the mistress bit, a little longer, because like they be describing like every other thing, even the steps of the stairs, like so long.
Right, right. They do
like,
do
they
that.
just revealed it in the next like what, like 10 minutes, like, bro, like. I don't know. I found that the most intriguing, and I wish they dragged that out a little longer instead of everything else, literally.
Yeah, I wish they did too. I honestly wish they did too.
But I guess we don't really know what exactly like what it is or what she looks like, so I guess
that's gonna be interesting though.
Curious on that part, yeah.
Yeah, I am a bit sad that it took us 2 acts for this to like kind of pick up. You know, like
yes.
it feels like it's just towards the end of the 2nd act that it's starting to pick up and be like, oh wait, story here. Ooh, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. The art's gorgeous, and I can't wait to find out about this mistress. And also, there's also the mysterious priest that we're gonna find about next stream.
Yes.
So boom.
And I also do feel like the characters and like the dynamics are getting more dynamic, especially with Magdalena showing more of her vulnerable side, I guess.
Yeah.
Her softer side.
I mean, that is nice.
Like,
I just wish Micah would show a more feisty side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The art and you guys talking over it is keeping me watching. Yeah. True, it shouldn't have taken half the game to get some development. Yeah, I mean, even so, I almost feel a bit unsatisfied, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I try not to talk over it because I wanted, I thought we wanted to finish it fast. But like, let me just hold on to my thoughts.
Yeah. Oh my god, we're only halfway through. How many weeks has this taken us? It's gonna be a while before we get to Eclipse at this rate. I'll think about it another time. I'll think about what we can do. But
Yes.
yes. All right, guys. I'm gonna put you on the ending screen. Join the raid that I'm about to start, and I'll see you tomorrow for stream. I don't know what time. I don't know what I'm gonna be streaming. Sorry. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.